What's up, people lovers? Deciding game here. Hidden Cup 2 qualifiers. JorDan against Fire, facing each other in a best of 7. We'll start off on Arabia, and whoever wins 4 games first is going to attend in the Hidden Cup 2 offline or online grand final, the main event. And with me will be Mr. Onlu, guiding us through all of our technical questions and will answer all stats related questions we will have. How are you doing, my friend?
I am doing great, man. I am up at a good time. I have my coffee. I am ready for this series.
Lovely stuff. Yeah, sometimes you wake up really early to watch those series, right?
Yeah, obviously everything is sort of done around Europe times, so for a lot of matches I'm waking up at like 7 in the morning.
Oh boy.
But it's all good. This one was nice 11 a.m. for me, so that's much better.
Yeah, true. Well, today we had a big law flying in Europe that might change Twitch streaming quite heavily, so maybe it will get more US friendly in the future.
Who knows? I might need to dissect that for some of my classes actually. So
Ah, okay.
we'll see how that unfolds.
I
But
thought you were
getting in,
more going into the history direction.
I kind of do both, I guess. I kind of do history and it's like its applications in international law.
Okay. Okay.
It is
Then
very dry.
okay, yeah, and dry, oh, well, aren't my eyes if I look at the map of Jordan here? Woodline, very far
Oh,
away.
beautiful. So, do you have team colors on, by the way?
Not really, but we can decide on probably blue for Jordan, red for Fire, right?
Yes.
Makes a lot
Okay,
of
perfect.
sense.
But yeah, as you're saying, this map is not that great for JorDan. Obviously, just going to be HCT to Arabia. Definitely one of the more, I guess, wallable versions of Arabia. Generally speaking, it's pretty much like a normal Green Arabia. But unfortunately for poor JorDan here, definitely very open map, stone in the front as well. Yes, the gold is in the back, but it's not like it's even remotely close to wallable, so it's still not even that great.
Yeah, and as you said, it normally is a bit more wallable, so that's a really bad generation for him. What does he need to do? Celts, maybe some aggression here with men at arms and spearmen and try to put on the pressure onto Fire, but against Mongols, that could be tricky.
Yeah, Mongols are one of the really trickiest civilizations to like put pressure against because you almost know that you're not going to be having the faster feudal age time because that's kind of what Mongols do. And looking at the map here for Fire, he's playing Black Forest over here. His map is so easily wallable. Yeah, the gold's in the front, which is like, oh darn, but he even has the deer in the back that he can take, which is super safe. Like, this is so nice for Fire.
Yeah, basically only needs to scratch his head a bit. Okay, how do I wall the front? Do I wall it a bit more to the front? And that should be doable. Or maybe the archery range is kind of in front of it. And even that gold, I think he only needs a single mining camp.
Yeah, just place the mining camp one tile away, have all the efficiency in the world, even have the stone in the back in case, say, JorDan does decide to go for the tower play, since his map is so bad.
No.
But we'll have to see. He only has 3 villagers on wood, notably.
And Jordan, well, it's still Celts, so maybe you can play Man at Arms even with 3 on wood. But Jordan, not typically our player that goes for anything with tower aggressions.
Yeah, JorDan definitely very much an old school player. I was joking with my chat before the series started. Other than Italians, JorDan picked all AOC civs, which
Ah.
not too surprising considering what we know are his preferences.
Yeah, that's true. Viper is still making fun of him that Jordan doesn't even know all the unique tags for the civilizations, and well, he's not that much into the new ones. And didn't it surprise you that we didn't even see Incas being played?
Yeah, that one was really surprising to me. Of course, we did see Fire pick a couple of water maps, at least hybrid water in the case of Cross, but still, I guess that kind of necessarily thins out your civ pool a little bit. Oh, JorDan accidentally revealing to Fire that he had a hole in his wall.
Yeah,
But
but for a second time. I think Fire maybe didn't even spot it the first time, but the scout just went in there and, well, Fire uses his nice wallable map, but not really including the gold. I'm not the biggest fan of those walls.
yeah, I would have liked to have seen him be a little bit more ambitious in his walling, trying to at least get some sort of access to the gold. Maybe you'll have to put up some sort of defensive tower in the mid feudal age to keep it safe, but I think you could have been a little bit, I guess, greedier in terms of trying to get gold. But Jordan, for his part, is taking a page out of CL's book and just saying, I don't care how bad my map is, we're still walling it.
A bit in that direction for sure. Fire, by the way, played without Loom and without a house. That's why I needed to go for the Loom, needed to rush that one out there, wasn't really forced into it. And, well, now scout production starts. JorDan, with only 20 gold, maybe adds a Spearman and only then goes for the aggression.
Yeah, of course, Jordan did go for the pretty quick uptime. Only has 3 on berries, actually. Still no villagers forward, but only the 2 militia to be men-at-arms, actually now just keeping on pumping out spearmen. I don't really think this is going to get anything done, except maybe ward off a few scouts.
Let's see. They still can go around. I like that JorDan is walling his woodline with the gate. It's just so far away, and the thing is, JorDan, maybe with a lot of militia and spearmen, can he pressure that gold area? I don't think he can ever really hit any villages. I think it's more preventing or squeezing in Fire, who's now building an archery range at the front.
Yep. So at least eventually Fire is sort of like working his way towards the sort of walling that we wanted to see. Pretty quick transition over into the archery range, I think makes a lot of sense, especially when you see your opponent already with a couple spearmen out. Nicely done from Fire. We'll be picking off a spearman just at JorDan's wall. But of course, like you were saying, JorDan pretty comfortable back at home, pretty safe. I don't really see any damage getting done by these scouts.
Yeah, just some easy quick walls, HP 80 and 200 there. He is super safe, villager count is dead even, and the question is how much we will see a transition of the players. Now skirmisher production starts and he's instantly sending those skirms to the front.
Yeah, and also notably the second archery range coming in right away for Fire as well. We've been seeing some players, I think, probably been a bit more common in the meta these days to go for the blacksmith first and just go for the fastest possible fletching upgrade. But Fire says no. Fire says, I want a lot of skirmishers and I want to throw them at JorDan's face because, well, they are very close to each other. And this villager is definitely caught between a rock and a hard place.
The palisade wall very low on HP here, broken through now. Skirmishers are going for the aggression, and what is JorDan really going for? Still 2 spearmen and 2 militia, his only army. That's not enough.
That is not remotely enough. How are you going to defend yourself with just 3 spearmen and 2 militia? If JorDan had actually gotten the men-at-arms upgrade and had, say, a few men-at-arms at this point, I'd say he probably would be at least much more fine than he is now, especially with the faster men-at-arms speed chase down stray skirmishers. But obviously, not there right now. And once Fire just sort of regroups and gets a few more skirmishers, he really should be able to take it to JorDan.
Okay, blacksmith, not here yet. Did build an archer. That's kind of weird. Delays his own fletching timing there, won't have enough gold. And JorDan just continues with 1 production out of 1 single barracks. Now has an archery range, but this is going to be tricky. Was forced into the defensive tower at his gold.
Yeah, of course, that's not something you ever want to make, but JorDan's map is just so open that there's no way he could have really gotten around that. Blacksmith coming in for both players. Like you were saying, a little bit strange that Fire went for the archer, but he's taking plenty of gold right now, so I don't think it should be too big of a difference anyway. Looks like Fire going to be attempting to bust down this palisade wall. And, well, in terms of raw army numbers, Fire's almost doubling JorDan right now.
Oh man, that's just brutal. And it's also an army that you cannot really micro. Like, sometimes if you have lower numbers, that's fine. For example, if you have conquistadors and can just decide where you want to fight, when you want to fight. But with spearmen against skirmishes and fletching, that's not really the choice of JorDan anymore.
Yeah, I mean that's always been the problem with infantry past the early game, is that it's just any amount of archers or skirmishers can just kind of micro them for days. And yeah, especially like if it was Celts versus like Celt men at arm versus unfletchinged skirmishers, yeah, you could maybe get away with it, but not at this stage, not with just spearmen. And well, this palisade gate's gonna go down, and there really isn't anything beyond that to stop this army of fire.
Okay, 5 skirmishers now, 6 skirmishers for JorDan. Has the defense upgrade coming in for him. Spearman at the front, not too well positioned. Loses 2, loses 3. Still 2 alive, getting focused down as well. And suddenly the scouts are coming back into play.
Yeah, now the scouts are becoming much more relevant. Just actually, another spearman is coming out of the barracks just in the nick of time, but they're still quite exposed, still down to only one spearman left. And even if there's just a couple scouts alive, they can just wreak havoc in some skirmishers, and that spearman equally dead. And this is just not remotely efficient here for a blue player.
Oh man, that was just ugly for him. Both with the +1 defense. Military count 19 to
Juan. And wow, that was an underwhelming game number 1.
Oh man, the map was so bad for JorDan. We can all agree on that. The restart could have been used. They have one restart, I believe, in this best of 7 series. Ooh la la.
Yeah, it was just fire going forward, not even like with villagers, but just kept on pumping out units, and JorDan was obviously just not remotely prepared to deal with the amount of units that were being thrown at him.
If we ever get the chance to ask him why he didn't want to take the restart there, that would be an interesting idea. And well, no re in game 1. Is that a rule or his idea? We know that the Viper hates to take restarts in game 1, but maybe JorDan, this could have been his spot for sure. Fire, obviously, with the way better kitty here.
Oh yeah, just pretty much total domination. Kind of just took the very, very early snowball and just kind of ran with it. JorDan's like early feudal age aggression just wasn't really ever destined for greatness, and just kind of fell flat on its face.
Yeah, maybe he needed to go for the aggression. Well, Vivi would have pressured that front gold. Yeah. We can all agree on that.
No, I was surprised. Like JorDan went for such a fast uptime with just the 21 pop as opposed to 22 pop, then didn't follow it up with any forward villagers or anything like that. Just made a few units, and I feel like that's kind of you're committing enough to the aggression to go up super early and make the army from the barracks, but then you're not going all in with the villagers, and I feel like that was just kind of a mistake.
Yeah, potentially, but he couldn't get to the numbers right. Pressuring a Mongol is really tricky.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something that's hard to do, especially with the maps involved, which is, again, questioning why he didn't take the restart, but obviously that's kind of what the choice he made, and now he's gotta live with it.
Yeah. We will talk to each other in 3 minutes when the spec delays down. We'll answer some of your questions.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, he says. Indeed, first pick against 6 picks, so it's not the end of the world. And 1 minute 50 to go. I had some questions. No re in game 1. It's better to keep for later. Well, if you automatically lose game 1, you should have taken it. Then it doesn't make sense to keep it. But yeah, in general, using it in game number 1 isn't ideal. We can all agree on that. Why only 2 militia? Because he saw mass scouts and felt like spearmen are doing more. But yeah. Oh, do I still have German Day there? No, right? Weird. And yeah, that was the option there. Speculate down to 40 seconds. I can still answer some quick questions before we jump into game number 2. The home map of JorDan will be Hideout. So we can change that order. Welcome Donnie as well. Hope you all have a wonderful day and cheering for our German boy a bit. He needs some power. Some energy maybe. Coke Zero or normal. Pepsi Max Cherry. Available very close to you as well, Mr. Donnie.
Alrighty, we're in game number 2 here. Nilly unmutes himself.
Hello.
Hello. We're on Hello Doubt. Just kidding, it's Hideout.
Oh, yeah. Now, people have been making jokes about that one since the map came out. And yeah, feels stout, man. Chinese against Indians. Not really what I expected out of those two.
Yeah, I was thinking Spanish for JorDan because he picked Spanish very early on, and this is his home map, so that's a pretty intuitive line of thinking. But no, going for Chinese here, obviously a pretty strong, I guess, hideout civ. The way I always like to think about hideout is that it's inverted arena with palisade walls,
Yeah.
and yeah, just picking good civs for arena. Generally, what you want to be doing on hideout. And what do you think of Chinese versus Indians?
I think Indians might really struggle to have a good counter to mass Chukunu, right? Camels won't really help you. Going for mass skirmishes, never really the beautiful composition for late imp. If we get onto like Onager Chukunu tech, JorDan will just wreck this, but before that, Fire will maybe play some aggressions, already trying to steal.
Oh yeah. Has everyone
Types in chat off, right? It's one single message, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's always like the one message and then just a stream of chat offs. But as you're saying, the lame is coming in, and I see absolutely nothing from JorDan to stop this in any way. Just trying to push some deer. So that's never the thing you want to be seeing as a Chinese player.
Really ugly. Let's see what they will have in store for us when it comes to strategies. It's not the typical arena style where you either have to tower rush or it's just a booming game till castle age. I think you, well, kind of are even forced to play something in feudal age here. Very rarely we see both players just booming.
Yeah, I think that we still see fast castles more often than not, but I would say it's more of a like 60% of the time sort of thing as opposed to arena where it's like 90 plus. And we definitely see a much greater variety of strategies. You can do some pretty crazy aggressive stuff here, just because it's aggressive enough that you can certainly hit your opponent off guard with a ton of like archers or something if they're not prepared for it, and forward towers and all that stuff. We'll have to see what these guys go for here, both with 4 on wood.
Yeah, and JorDan, if we look at this map, he could, well, get in some troubles if he was to be forwarded. 2 stones aggressively, gold spots all outside or in range of towers as well. So that could have been ugly for him. JorDan really failing with pushing deer as well.
Yeah, those are always super annoying deer to lure. Those are the sorts of deer that I'm just like, well, I guess I'm down for deer. But and like you compare that to Fire, has the 3 deer in his hideout walls, plus the 3 boar, obviously, and all the Indian saved food. He's just got food for days.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal, and I don't really understand why he's trying to scout there. Why is he sending the scout to the top? He could have pushed some more deers for sure, and knows that he has less HP, so he cannot really be out on the map. That's surprising to me.
Yeah, that is kind of strange, and I'm not really sure what he would plan on gaining from scouting all the way over here. Like, he knows where his opponent is, he knows how this map works out, and it's not like you're trying to find all these different attack angles to your opponent. You have 2 options until you cut through in the middle and like with onagers or something. Not a whole lot of choice there.
By the way, something really clever raised in my chat. Did Fire maybe try to counter Spanish and therefore went for Indians? But even then, I'm not sure if Indians is a like real counter to Spanish either.
No, I wouldn't say that. I think Indians are okay versus Spanish. I wouldn't say it's like a bad matchup, but if I'm wanting to counter Spanish, I'm probably picking something like Britons, which are also really good for this map.
Did he have Britons?
He didn't have Britons in his draft, but I'm just saying in a vacuum, like those would be the sorts of counter picks for Spanish on this map that I would go for.
Okay, also like Aztecs, but they were banned as well. Mayans obviously would be the favorite, but... Okay, then the next question, Onlu. How well do elephant archers perform against Chinese?
Well, funny you should ask that, Nilly, because fire's on stone, so this is obviously going to be for an elephant archer rush. But like real talk, okay, this is obviously way too late of an uptime for fire to go for any sort of a feudal age tower play.
Yeah, both
still
are
has
booming. Yeah.
He still has the villager on stone.
If he sends 2 more, he has endless amount of food here. Look at that.
Yeah, well, Indian saved food plus all the extra food from the boar and just taking the deer right now. Should be nice, but honestly, elephant archers, they perform very well against conquistadors, but they really do not perform well against Inquisition monks.
Yeah, that's true as well. But the question again, would JorDan know about Inquisition? Would he go for it? Would he have adjusted? For now, it just feels like fire. Only 1 on stone. Did he try to build defensive towers or something? If he thought he'd get it forward in his phase, but then most likely would have included the stone as well. I'm still baffled.
So a couple ideas come to mind. One is that he wants to go for a very fast 4th TC, and I guess is choosing just to not use the market and just gathering stone with 1 villager. The other thought is that he wants to stonewall one of the sides to prevent any sort of like early castle age aggression, or maybe even just stonewall both sides eventually. But those are the only 2 ideas I can think of.
If you want to stonewall, why don't you send a villager early on to already palisade wall?
I would guess that he just doesn't expect any early aggression, considering he already lamed a boar.
Okay. But he's not expecting any early aggression, then you're basically stonewalling against 1 single timing that isn't really including a castle either. So...
I'm not saying I agree with it. I'm just trying to understand his train of logic, and I think I am correct.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Where's JorDan with his scout?
Off in Narnia, far north of the map.
Feels like it. Still in the closet.
Rip. But
okay, so JorDan goes for archers. This should be a siege tower masterpiece.
Yeah, and I think this is a strategy that can certainly work out pretty well. I'm not sure why he would choose to go for this strategy with Chinese of all civs. But, I mean, of course, I guess Chinese, they have the cheaper techs. It's certainly fine. They can do pretty much any strategy fine. And if Fire's caught off guard, if he thinks he's just going to be totally safe behind these stone walls, he will certainly be wrong. But there is the contingency layer of walls to break through with the palisades, which just might buy Fire the time he needs for a siege workshop.
Let's see about that. Maybe he will feel safe with some TCs as well. 1 archery range. Archers. It's not the scariest thing ever. Fletching now coming in, but he won't break the walls. JorDan, it feels like he's just scouting for relics or what?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, that's what the your arena instincts would tell you. But actually, relics are just kind of, they're scattered everywhere. I guess there's maybe a few. I guess there's 1 extra relic on the side of Fire, but that's not that big of a deal. Also coming in with the 2nd layer of contingency walls is our red player.
And that's honestly not too bad, right? JorDan still didn't scout any of that. So he now will see 1 layer. The question is, will he try to go for the siege tower? And question number 2 is, could the scout see the 2nd layer?
So the scout has, 7 tiles line of sight? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think the scout could, at least not in the ones that are close to the edge of the map. Maybe just the ones that are closest to the wood line.
Maybe if he squeezes in there? It feels like he could have. Can now finish off the scout from Fire. He added 2 TCs. He's adding the monastery as well. And JorDan is booming as well. 2 extra TCs for him. 1 monastery only. Looks better for Fire in my books. At least for the start now.
Yeah, because Jordan's wandering all the way around with these 3 archers with fletching. That is not exactly the scariest army on the planet. And yes, Fire did have to make a very real investment into all of this walling in the south, but it's still, I would say, less of an investment than getting the archery range up, getting archers, getting fletching, and is of course as Indians probably going to be in a little bit better situation to boom.
Yeah, obviously Jordan had a bit of a better start. Fire even loomed here, which surprised me a bit, but I can see that because he went for fast castle. Jordan, what is that villager at the front? Maybe building an outpost? Or what's her plan? Why would you not build it at the edge?
There's no reason not to. That seems just like an objective mistake, but
Okay, but he sees the walls. Did even do town watch, apparently.
yeah, that's some town watch right there. Couple monks will be enough to ward away the archers. Don't really get to say that often. But already we have our red player with a what 7 villager lead, and that's against Chinese too. Like that, I feel like doesn't really bode that well for Jordan.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. The question is, though, what's the early imp composition for fire? Is it just going to be skirmisher, bombard cannon, maybe some traps? It feels like early imp, Chinese are performing just so much better.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's just kind of how it works with any good archer civ versus a not great archer civ, and it's going to be the same case here. We'll have to see how that plays out. I do think that the composition that you just mentioned is probably the best bet for fire. Monk actually getting the conversion on the villager of Jordan. It's walling in the south, which is cute. Another cute little move from Jordan, positioning the archer on his wood line just so that he can snipe any tower attempts or maybe harass a little bit of the wood choppers of fire.
Let's see. Seems like tower rushing back. No. Oh, instant delete here. Fire didn't even try to run.
Poor villager.
Oh, at the top, Jordan, he is getting away there. Obviously could not have taken that fight. Fire now ahead by 9 villagers and, well, looks pretty even. 2 months. Just looking at each other now.
Waving at each other. Well, Indians don't have atonement, whereas Chinese do, but this obviously isn't any sort of real monk battle that I think we're going to see. Probably just a couple more villagers coming forward, as well as the scout from Jordan.
Jordan could maybe block that gate. Not really. Fire's getting home safe.
Oh,
A small hiccup by Jordan, but really tough to spot.
Yeah, that's something that I don't think you can sort of plan for. It's just kind of like a gift that can sometimes fall in your lap.
So, oh, and Jordan indeed is going for atonement. What a weird choice.
What do you know? That random piece of information actually became relevant.
Hey.
But yeah, Indians don't have atonement. Fun fact.
But they have handguard. Fire's researching that. Jordan as well, so they will have the same eco. Fire, it seems like he's adding some scouts now. Interesting.
I don't think that's a bad idea. You've seen your opponent go for multiple monks. You want to make sure you can take your relics comfortably. I don't know why Fire hasn't taken the ones that are close to his base. Actually, he hasn't scouted the one that's on the far right corner of the map, which is a little awkward taco.
He didn't scout either.
Wait, he didn't scout the...
Yeah. Fields Fireman.
Wow. That's awkward.
But Fields Fireman, he is killing the monk at the front. That even went for atonement, couldn't get the conversion. Really tough. John walling up the top now, and well, we're going into an imp game. Fire with more villagers and a lot of stuff working for him. Should have, in the end, 4 relics against only 1.
Yeah, that'll obviously be pretty nice for a red player, and he really just seems to be what I would call ahead in almost every way right now. He has a 10 villager lead. He's going to have, I think... Well, actually, he's going to be dropping a forward castle. So I was going to say he can transition into early imp a bit more comfortably than he might otherwise, given the Civ matchup, but Fire wants to put on some pressure right now.
And he will reach imp with an even timing, so the pressure won't really be stopped. Jordan, can he get a castle up at that hill? He's only sitting at 200 stone. He has a lot of villagers on it. It feels like Fire should be fine and getting a lot of control over that side.
Yeah, and of course, this hill actually is going to be super important, I think, between these two players as we get into the Imperial Age. Well, rip that monk. But yeah, whoever controls this hill kind of gets a good sort of entry point into JorDan's base. So obviously JorDan's going to really need to prioritize saving that.
Not a lot of stuff working for JorDan this game, right? He lost all the monk moves, the archers did 0 damage, no control over the top relic, the walls at the side not really there, couldn't break through. It feels like everything is going perfectly fine for Fire at the moment.
Oh yeah, he's just chilling, making university, getting Bodkin arrow, so I think that might indicate maybe we're going to be seeing that skirmisher switch. The university as well, likely for ballistics, and there the archery range is coming in. Likely going to be for some skirmishers. Actually, maybe cav archers, but probably skirmishers.
Maybe hand cannoneers together with bombard cannons could be an option as well. And also for the tower, that is kind of sneaky there in the center. Villager count, not that important anymore. 10 more for fire, but, well, at those high numbers, not too important. Skirmishes indeed.
Yeah, I saw the villagers were garrisoned in the castle for fire, so for a second I'm like, oh my god, is he going alley archers? No, those were just villagers. Skirmishers. Boring.
Sorry.
But I think you're very correct. It is, I think, just the best thing to go. The Chinese player is pretty likely to go for Chokunu at this point. I mean, nothing else really makes a ton of sense versus Indians. You don't want to go Cavalier into Indians. But likely just going to be the good old Treb volleyball.
Yeah, most likely John will have the hill advantage though. So good for him there. We'll have the 2 castles. Fire, that's a horrible one. He would leave that, I think, once JorDan reaches him.
Yeah, that was... like, that castle placement, like, instantly, like, made me jerk my head back and, like, what? That is not a castle that I think is going to be too long for this world. There's even a mangonel out here for JorDan. I don't know why he's not jumping it out to delay the castle.
Maybe he's scared of those 2 scouts, but they are falling now. Maybe that's the timing to get the mangonel out. Sees everything, so he should maybe know. The outpost actually giving him endless amount of vision there under the castle.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly pretty silly for Fire not to take that outpost down when he could have. I mean, it only takes like a second. But now it's 2 castles for both players, but as you're saying, Jord with the hill advantage. Looks like the mangonel did die in an ignoble death. But second siege workshop on the way, likely just going to be for the bombard cannons, as obviously Indians do have that over Chinese.
Yeah, that could be really nice for him. JorDan is going for masonry, is going for a lot of traps, so that makes a lot of sense. We'll have 4 traps out. Both players not going for too much army, except that I think skirms for now won't really add too much. Score, super even.
Yep, score is super even, and of course villager count even as well. And honestly, with that castle going down for almost a certainty for Fire, it just feels really bad. And he's not really teching into a fantastic army composition as far as actually applying any sort of real pressure. And with, what, 4 trebuchets already here for a blue player? With the high ground, I think he should be able to continue to win this Treb war.
Yeah, the question is, how much does he need to move out of the range of his castle to snipe the castle of Fire, right? How much can the bombard cannons do against the repositioned traps? That's the next step here. Fire with bombard cannons, the micro potential should be on his side.
Yeah, definitely, unless you run it right into the castle. Oh, that's not pretty. Of course, bombard cannons only do outrange the castle by 1, so it is pretty tricky, but considering that is literally the single most important part of Fire's, like, management right there, that's not really too great. We'll take out at least one of the castles of JorDan. There is another one right next to it, though, and of course that still will give our blue player the hill advantage. Fire now working around with this bombard cannon. Looks like we'll maybe get another trebuchet, but now onager done for JorDan.
Let's see what the onagers can do. Getting some good hits against the skirmishers should be really easy, but shouldn't be the most important thing. Get some good volleys off in the back there. Get some damage done, but no kills yet.
No kills. Obviously, Chinese do have pretty mediocre onagers at best. Another snipe there, courtesy of Fire. And, well, Fire's now starting to push things in. It still probably doesn't have a uphill against that castle, but I mean, what, 4 trebuchets and 4 bombard cannons? It don't care about no hill bonus, it don't care about no masonry. That castle is definitely going down.
Jordan's cavalier attack behind that, maybe not in time. Ground attack here against the Onager, not really hitting. And Jordan, again, not taking the greatest trade. Kind of weird that he's so far ahead with the KD. It just feels he didn't have a tiniest of wins this far. Yeah, the first castle of fire went down, but it felt like 10 other things going better even for fire.
Yeah, definitely things have been kind of going Fire's way this game. And, well, there is still one more castle for Jordan, but I'm pretty sure it's in range of trebuchets that can be parked on this hill for Fire. And if Fire gets his own castle up, and he almost has the stone for it, like on this hill that we've been talking about, that's just going to be so powerful and just endlessly pushing down Jordan, who is making that transition to Cavaliers, but that just feels like a really, really not that great idea against Indians.
Already camels prepared here, getting some stables up in the back as well. Resources in general looking pretty sexy for Fire here. Onagers at the front, unleashed. Can they get a good hit off against the bombard cannons? Not even that. One bruise, but all survive.
Yeah, that's a lot of very poor trades, and despite having the kill death advantage, like you were saying, it's a matter of quality of units lost. I mean, almost all the units lost by Fire have just been skirmishers, which, you know, who cares about at this point in the game?
Jordan, I'm not really sure what those villagers are up to.
They're being punished for Jordan's, you know, not winning this game.
Okay, no, it's
Jordan's
actually
landing on the best.
freeing up pop space, I believe. He is at 150 and didn't want to lead them, would have been close by.
You don't have to worry about pop space when you're not even close to pop cap.
True as well.
Yeah, now we have Heavy Camel coming in here for Fire, definitely just rounding out his tech tree at this point, doing the good old hand cannon plus bombard cannon push. It's like preemptively countering the halberdiers that he is expecting against the camels, and that is what Jordan's switching into, but it seems like Fire is just one step ahead of his opponent in every way.
Yeah, I found out what the mission of those villagers was. He tried to go for the gold in the very top, does not know about the walls. They're now building a siege workshop. But, well, gold income is absolutely minimal. In 100 gold, he's completely out of it with only 1 relic.
Well, Jordan has gold at least to spend right now in the short run. Has around 2.5k gold in the bank. It's just, I think, a question of what do you spend gold on that's going to be particularly useful against what your opponent's doing, and I can't really think of anything, because you'd probably want a ton of fully upgraded Elite Juko Nu, but that is not going to be happening anytime soon, and that's going to be the last castle down for Jordan, and I don't know how he plans on holding on.
Maybe siege ram, halberdier or something. He's adding some barracks, some more siege workshops. Upgrades aren't looking too pretty for him. He's going for skirm cavalier, but lacking a lot of upgrades still. Luckily he has 2 blacksmith working for him.
Double blacksmith, obviously the most OP of all plays in Age of Empires. Well, actually, second to the double you play. that one is really the 5,000 IQ play.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen double university ever been used properly.
Oh, then you just need to watch my stream more, man.
Okay,
oh, wait, I already have a university? Whoops. Guess I might as well get masonry and heated shot at the same time. Oh man, this is so bad for Jordan, Nilly. He's down by so much population already, so much army in terms of both quantity and quality. I don't know how he plans on winning this.
Let's take a look. He is going for the aggression at the front. Bombard cannon's completely unprotected. Only some skirmishers in the back doing some damage. That's all going down, but he still has 5 traps behind this. Yeah, that was costly, but shouldn't take too much wind out of the sails. Imp camel upgrade now on the way as well.
Yeah, unfortunately, Fire can afford to replace those bombard cannons and another, like, 6 with the amount of resources he has banked up. Going to be transitioning into those very terrifying Imperial camels. Already has the hand cannoneers and I guess a few skirmishers to deal with any halberdiers. It's not like Jordan's halberdiers are particularly well upgraded. Chattagni coming in as well for Fire. This is just so bad for Blue.
Oh man, okay, now moving in a bit further. Halberdiers at the front, quite okay. Cavaliers, they have one mission to kill those traps. Fire, is he disengaging here? I think he needs to protect his traps a bit more. What is he doing?
Throwing away his traps for no adequately explored reason by the looks of things. And yeah, it's just kind of sloppy, honestly. Why?
Jordan ahead in population here. Yeah, he didn't want to waste the camels before camel upgrade, but why do you put your traps in front then?
Yeah, why do you put your traps in front? And honestly, he could have taken that fight with just heavy camels. It's not like heavy camels are bad. There were only like, what, 6 or 7 halberdiers there at the time? Like, you can shoot through that with the army you have, but, I mean, again, in the long run, it's still probably just fine here for fire. Even actually has a couple stables here in the middle. JorDan's actually going to be deleting as well. He's going to be going for the big counterattack, and no reaction in time at all for Mr. Fire.
It was tough to get a good reaction there in time, and yeah, that's going to be some dead villagers. Luckily for Fire, he heavily overboomed, is at 150 villagers, so even losing 15 isn't the end of the world for him. Camels now wrecking the skirmishers of JorDan in the center though.
Yep. You have to be a little bit careful of the halberdiers. They're sort of getting there in terms of upgrades. The double blacksmith really is actually quite nice here for JorDan, allowing him to get the sort of well-rounded army that he needs. But again, you're working with trash units versus gold units, and generally speaking, the army of gold units wins, provided that you're balancing your army composition well enough. And I think that Fire is doing that.
Let's see, at the moment he's not fighting too well. JorDan has a lot of upgrades. The thing is, Fire might misjudge the situation as well. He might think he is fighting against 3 relics, or at least 2 relics, because he didn't scout the 2 at the top as well.
Yep, I noticed that a little while ago. He took the relic from his opponent's base before he took the ones that were right next to his own base, because he just never scouted them. And honestly, these Cavalier have gotten a lot of damage done for JorDan.
Yeah,
Like,
killed
got,
at
what,
least
30
30
bills?
villagers, yeah, something like that.
But still, stone in the south in favor of Fire, gold in the north as well. Even if the villagers did get cleaned up for the time being, he still will have that as the game goes on. 0 relics for JorDan. Eventually, he's going to run out of gold, and eventually is pretty soon in this case. And then he'll really only have trash to work with, not even guilds for Chinese.
Oh yeah, that's ugly as well. Let's take a look. Halberdiers at the front, being sniped down by the hand cannoneers, bombard cannons are moving forward. Maybe Fire could have gone for some capped rams as well. I think not the worst spot. And a brutal raid here in the woodland of JorDan as well.
Yeah, those camels they're getting some work done over here. Something actually I think Fire could have gone for a while ago is siege engineers. I mean, he's just had so much siege. Probably could have pushed through, several more production buildings of JorDan, but just minor things here. There's still so many dead villagers for JorDan right now. Yeah, he has a ton of wood in the bank, but I just don't see the sort of long-run win condition here for JorDan, other than just hoping Fire throws away a million army.
The very long-run win condition is that Fire is running out of wood, but let's get a quick update here. Seems like he still has enough to work with. Otherwise, yeah, the win condition the next hour, kind of tricky.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Fire is not making any army right now. That's a win condition, technically. You have your opponent not make an army. Fire should get there eventually, though. He's even rounding out his armor upgrades for his hand cannoneers.
JorDan ahead by 11 population. I don't know how Fire is messing up his macros so much here. That he is having, massive amount of resources, but not the numbers on the field.
Just click the buttons on the buildings to make the units, and then you're good, Mr. Fire. But he's kind of getting snowballed right here in the south of JorDan's base. Halberdiers cleaning up pretty much everything, even some random cav archers in the back for JorDan.
He's clicking some CA here, most likely. Not really sure what they would do, but well, doing reasonable damage against the Imp camels here, and maybe he's getting back to one of his gold spots.
Well, is almost running dry with the gold that he currently has control of, but if he can take down this castle, that would obviously be amazing for JorDan. Siege rams pushing in from the side as well.
What is happening here, Onlu? He's pushing the top as well, building some halberdiers there. JorDan, don't tell me he is coming back here.
Is JorDan back, Nilly?
Rumors have it.
It has been foretold all these weeks since NAC2. But oh man, Fire, make an army. he has no resources in the bank right now for no gold in the bank. He has resources other than that. He can make units. Make the units. He's going to be losing this castle if he's not careful.
Market prices are actually pretty solid as well. That castle is going to be going to go down for sure. Skirmish is still doing a good job. Bombard cannons now being added, not too well protected. That's a lot of gold loss for Fire. That's a great last 5 to 10 minutes for JorDan here.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic for JorDan. Still has several siege rams. I guess the question is for JorDan. Well, he still has like around 500 gold right now, and when the only gold sink you have is siege rams at this point, that's honestly fine considering that you've now retaken the gold to the south of your base. Now Fire is honestly really on the back foot. He has overboomed once again. 145 villagers. He just doesn't really have the pop space for army, and Halberdiers are a pretty good unit against all cavalry.
Oh man, and the curse of Fire continues. He is so strong unless it's very important deciding games. We saw that during the ECL, during NSC qualifiers, during NSC 2 as well. And that's the biggest problem of Fire. He's so good if there's less on the line. And it just feels like he couldn't finish the deal here so far. But this game is far from over.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's Hideout. It is definitely a late game oriented map, and that is where we are now. It's going to be big ol' post-imp slugfest, and Fire is a player who is very strong in post-imp, though for some reason deciding not to make units there for like 2.5 minutes, kind of costing him a lot. But the thing is, importantly, still does have control of 3 relics, will eventually, possibly, maybe get 5. Has the gold in the north, managed to mine out the stone in the south, so he should have more mineral resources to work with in the long run, as long as he can just stabilize.
Yeah, stabilizing shouldn't be the worst thing, right? He's sitting behind walls, still have the castle, bombard cannons, but military numbers are just looking scary. On that one Serena, it feels like 80 against maybe a dozen of units.
Yeah, M-Camel's trying to come in to reinforce, but I mean, this is just such a massive number of skirms and halbs that so long as the halbs can just pull back a little bit, I don't really see this army of JorDan dying anytime soon. JorDan has the production at home. He's just sending units endlessly towards the front lines. M-Camel's trying to collapse onto the skirmishers, but the halbs are just going to be so insanely cost-efficient against them.
And that's also a problem here from Fire. He's not the guy who properly uses MQ in those scenarios. JorDan better adjusted to that, so his production should be a bit better. His imp macro as well. Some aggression here, even in the center again. Left hand side is being held by JorDan as well. I even prefer his position now.
I would if he had any amount of relics. I mean, even with 3 relics to 0, missing the 2 relics for Fire, it's still, I think, you know, again, as the game goes on, this is still going to be favoring him. He still has the better kill-death ratio as well. And I think that eventually he should stabilize. Eventually.
Eventually. Well, we are talking about stabilizing. He's at pop 190 behind walls, right? And is still getting gold, has bombard cannons, so it's not looking too bad for him. Also has the chance to attack for Hussars, something we won't see for JorDan. So in Trash Wars, that's pretty sweet for him as well.
Oh yeah, it's always nice to have that little boost in the form of the Hussar. Although Indians, I guess, themselves missing the last armor upgrade for their own halbs is pretty annoying. But since JorDan hasn't really made a ton of cavalry in a while, it's not really something that Fire is going to need. But importantly, Fire is at least possibly going to be reclaiming control of this hill.
Okay, and the question is, do we want to attack there? 3 bombard cannons, they cannot eat too much. 3 barracks, 2 siege workshops. Is that maybe the spot where you just build AD army and push through the center?
Well, speak of the devil, you got JorDan pushing in, destroying this castle here of Fire. And now it's going to be time for the peasant uprising. That's never a particularly great sign. JorDan flooding in halberdiers.
Oh, and
He's
Fire
going
with,
for it.
Fire with the tech switch. Man-at-arm tech here at the 61-minute mark. He might want to go into champions. But that's again another investment into gold that, well, I don't think will really finish the game.
I'm just getting flashbacks to NAC2 where MBL went for Indian champions against Leary.
On the Registered Fortress game, right?
Yeah, I was casting that with Turkmen. That was one of the most triggering things I have ever seen. I'm just getting flashbacks to that. Oh man, I think champions are better in this particular situation though, because there isn't a ton of cap archers or something like that for JorDan. Obviously, just going almost full trash right now, and that is what. It's what swordsmen are good against, but still missing that last armor upgrade is a big deal because skirmishers then going to be dealing more than 2 damage.
Okay, we'll see about that. Relics now being picked off, so most likely we will have at least 4 now, maybe even 5. And JorDan, he's spreading like a virus, stamping bombard cannons at the right-hand side, or at least trying to. Some more raids here in the farmers. Fire dropping down to pop 170.
Again, make the units, Fire. You have the resources. There is no reason for Fire not to be making a ton of units right now. Like, even again, like, all of these barracks are idle right now. What is he doing?
Simply not having his macro on point here. Villager count dropping and dropping. Left-hand side, the push of JorDan continues. Maybe mass amount of champions can push this down. Another ram is coming over. Right-hand side will be held by Fire, though.
Yeah, that's definitely not getting broken anytime soon. The bombard cannons to support the castle, going to be really, really tricky for JorDan to ever break that without a ton of siege himself. But it's just the middle is kind of collapsing a little bit for Fire, though maybe this will give him the sort of space he needs to actually make an army because, man, he just needs units. He has more resources to make better quality units than his opponent. He still even has the kill-death ratio advantage. He just needs to make the freaking units, man!
Had 40 idols out of 100 that he had in total there. And villager production out of 2 TCs at the moment. More raids through the center. Woodline kind of exposed here. JorDan, he's pulling back all his army from the top. He's going full out 100 military through the center now.
And I think that's a good idea. What's going to be the best way to end this game if you're JorDan, probably? Just strike at the heart of your opponent's food and wood production, especially, because that's obviously what you need to make trash units. Food especially, and obviously all of Fire's farms are just kind of located here in the middle, so no need to deal with going around the edges. That's only going to slow down your potential win, which you can't win in the long run if you're JorDan, because it's going to be 5 relics to 0. So I think this is really smart play here for our blue player, and yeah, now again, it's all down to if Fire can actually mount the number of troops he needs.
Yeah, I think with this attack, and he's pulling everything. Look at that, JorDan, beautiful move. Only has some scattered around units, but most of the production is coming here. That's basically 80 units at one single screen. Yeah, some raids in the back. Quite a nice move here. But this is going to be deadly push. Would love to see some more rams at it.
Yeah, definitely that is the sort of one component that's a little bit lacking for JorDan. He still does actually have a ton of food and wood, he can sell a bit, get some more rams. I think tearing through your opponent's town centers is just going to be such a great way to end this game if you're JorDan. And he is maybe even just about to take the score lead, Nilly.
Oh boy.
This is crazy.
Wood side, or wood at the left-hand side. Still, well, somewhat getting raided now. Fire, not having enough skirmishes for his own at the moment. Champion numbers, not scary.
Not particularly. A lot of the infantry for Fire is just pikemen. And like I was saying, missing that last armor upgrade means that it's going to be taking 4 damage a hit from skirmishers as opposed to 2, which, that's a 100% increase.
Oh, that's really double the amount!
Yeah. Oh man.
Okay, but more skirmishers now a bit exposed. Halberdier numbers not really there to protect them. Needs to go back. Halberdiers are now coming over. Starting TC of Fire will go down, and he will be heavily housed as well. Soon 170 out of 170.
Yeah, that's obviously a pretty big deal. Need to get that all sorted out if you're Fire, because losing even more momentum right now is going to be what loses Fire this game, if indeed he does, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now. But he's continuing to drop in population, and Fire no longer has that food bank that he needs to really sustain a ton of champion production. And the barracks, they're all right here, so if the siege rams start taking them down, he's just got no real army production.
JorDan even sending villagers to the front to repair those rams, knows that his gold income is so minimal that he cannot really continue producing massive amount of rams here. Goes for more houses. Pop 150 for Fire only.
Yeah, and It's not going up anytime soon. His production is continuing to be camped. He's really only got, I guess, his gold in the south. Like, gold isn't even his, like, resource he's strapped for the most at this point, which is just mind-boggling in a game that's this long. It's really just food. And like I was saying earlier, this is the heart of Fire's food economy, and JorDan's tearing through it right now.
Let's take a look. How many farmers do we have? We still have 56 farmers for Fire, so that's not the worst thing ever. He did expand quite nicely to the right-hand side, some to the north, but look at those T90 farms. They are so bad. So bad. Oh, boy.
That's like, you know, if T90 and Keith worked together to make the best farms possible, and then they ended up with this. It's not great. Oh. And now we see our red player dropping below 100 population. I mean, JorDan looks like he is well on his way to winning game number 2 here.
So sick. Rams moving forward, more archery ranges. JorDan ends the amount of resources. And it's not because he has too many villagers. It's because, yeah, he didn't lose a lot of army in the last minutes.
Yeah, like, it's amazing because Fire still has the better kill-death ratio, but as you were saying, it's this last, like, 5 minutes. It's just totally given all of the momentum to our blue player. And, yeah, it seems like Fire might be trying to recuperate with some sort of production, trying to mass up at least, like, some amount of champions, but I just don't think it's going to be enough at this point. I don't think he has the resources or the production capacity.
Rough game. Still close to house tier. Let's take a look. What's his production at the moment for Fire? He's going for champions only. And, well, it's going to be a rough run. Rams continuing to move forward. JorDan with more seeds workshops as well. A solid bank as well. Nice raids in the back. JorDan is doing everything right at the moment. Even raids at the left-hand side.
Yeah, this is just absolutely beautiful for JorDan. I really, really like the decision to push down the middle. I think if he does win this game, it would be the game-winning decision in itself. You can see the champion's actually just getting picked off by the skirmishers at this point. That is not ideal remotely for Fire, and he still doesn't really have any barracks in like the back of his base, which would be really nice for him, because he really just needs a safe place to mass up some champions. But all these champions are just dying like the second they come out of their barracks.
Yeah, pretty ugly. He doesn't really have the highest numbers, 80 military to 45 here. And now send some of those champions over, but, well, honestly, I think I will put more focus on the last defense upgrade for infantry in the future after this game.
Oh yeah, because of the getting picked off by skirms?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an important thing, in my opinion, and it's being brought to bear right here. It's something that I first noticed in Hunmir's actually back in the day, because obviously skirms are more effective because Huns also lack a last armor upgrade in that situation.
Okay, against the halberdiers.
Yeah, it's even more obvious here in this case though, because we're dealing with two different civs, and yeah, just see the champions getting wrecked by skirms.
Pretty sick. Okay, we have pop 115 here against pop limit. Fire feels like, okay, I'm pushing back the front a bit, but big raids here at the top, and this is going to be so ugly for Fire. And he will be heartbroken with this one as well. That was his game to lose, and he did.
Yeah, that was, well, in honor of T90's tournament, that was a T90 throw if I've ever seen one. And GG. Things are all tied up, Nelly.
Oh man, and JorDan, he has to be happy. Look at his great smile here, and oh boy, that was, I'm not really sure how Fire can properly get back into the series. Like, we know he isn't the guy with the best mental mindset, and having such a game, this is going to be rough for him.
Nilly, if you're still in the game, look at the economy achievements. Fire had over double the gold collected of JorDan, and he couldn't, hedge together any sort of post-imp army to deal with JorDan's just halbs and skirms.
Yeah, that's just big, right? How many bombard cannons did he lose this game? 20? Something like that?
Probably something in that ballpark.
Five traps at this one moment where we couldn't understand it all. Hand cannoneers aren't that great against trash.
Yeah.
Honestly, camels against halberdiers?
That moment where he lost the 5 trebs, I think that was the moment where just the momentum just totally flipped on its head. And JorDan just started, slowly but steadily clawing his way back until eventually just overran Fire.
Oh man, that was rough. That was really rough and simply didn't have the military numbers. What a great game by JorDan here. And next we will be jumping into the home map of Fire, will be Rooster. Not too sure if that's the greatest pick, honestly. JorDan, an absolute beast on that one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Have to see what these guys choose to go for. Obviously, a lot of water sieves picked for both.
Well, I think Italians and Japanese make a lot of sense here.
Yep. I wouldn't pick anything else if I were either of these players.
Well, Japanese could maybe still do something on Cup or Bay. Maybe on Cross.
What about the Byzantines pick for Fire?
Maybe
Go for the fire ships.
Maybe that's Rooster. And then we pick Japanese on Cross. Malay on Cup or Bay.
I really like Malay on Cup. I think they've proven to be a really strong civ on that map. At least in the games I've seen.
Okay, I will answer some viewer questions. We will talk to each other in 3 minutes.
See ya.
See ya. Hear ya. Okay, Malaya Japanese. Well, we will see. That was a weird throw by Fire. Didn't really see that coming. Rooster next, then we have Cup, and then again the home maps, Fires, or JorDans we will see. Whew. Do you use a compressor on your voice? Normally, yeah. But at the moment, nah. Because I kind of screwed up with my virtual audio cable. I tried to reinstall it, deinstall it for that, and now I can't install it because I get an error message. So I'm not using it for the last month, maybe? Just shortly before NAC. But the whole last year I used the compressor, yeah. Adobe Edition I was using. Champs counter trash units. Champs counter trash units if you have the +4 defense. Such advanced audio settings. Well, reinstall to deinstall, not to install. But reinstall to deinstall to not install. Indeed, that was my path. Next map, Rooster Fire's home map. Let's see what he has in store for us. And we're keeping Byzantines for another one. A lot of people saying chat off, then I will say chat off as well. And on Lewis back, typing chat off as well. We can't see it anymore, but we know what he wrote.
Chat off.
Indeed.
Nice and boring. But we have arrived at the TIE fighter ship from Star Wars, because that's what my chat says this map looks like.
TIE fighter ship from Star Wars?
Like one of the the special TIE fighters from like Darth Vader or whatever. It's like they kind of have like the little hook thing. That's what my chat says anyway.
TIE fighters from Star Wars?
Yeah, like the cockpit would be the really, really ugly, like grafted on like grass 1 terrain that connects the 2 players that like just cuts in the middle of all of the deep water for no reason.
I don't even know where to look.
So like the area between the 2 players, the land area,
Yeah.
like that connects them.
Yeah.
Like look how it is just kind of randomly bisecting the bay itself. You can see the deep water like right along the shoreline.
Yeah.
So you can't actually build docks there.
Yeah.
It's really weird, but for some reason they think that's like the cockpit area on like Darth Vader's TIE fighter. I don't really know.
Now I can see it. Okay, okay.
The moment of realization, I look less like an idiot.
Okay, let's focus on the game. And, well, We are seeing very good deal here for JorDan and Rooster in general. Map that was very common. Oh, let's not talk about the TIE Fighter. Maybe next game. Maybe next game we will have another one. Okay.
There we go.
Restart here for Fire. He had horrible deer. Couldn't really push that. Quite important on that map. Maybe didn't even find his boars yet. At least didn't go for those. And yeah, we will see a restart here on the home map of Fire.
Definitely going to be something he wants to win, right? You pick your home. It's not just like his home map; it's his first home map. So like this is I think the map he wants to win more than any other, especially since he lost the last game in what most people would call a throw. I'm sure it's going to be really important for his confidence going forward to win this one.
True. Okay.
Then, see you in a few.
Yeah, here in a few. Okay, guys, what are coming up with for next map? Someone in the chat, please say like, oh, this clearly looks like the letter C. I could have understood that. But TIE Fighter, Darth Vader? Darth Vader. I don't even know how to TIE Fighter. TIE Fighter. Okay, that's the one I thought. But I don't see it. So that's the one from episode 5, I believe. Oh no, was it episode 4? Episode 4. The Death Star, right? Decider series, not decider match. Match series. Not too sure. Okay. Omega Gaming 13. Thanks for your prime suit with a lot of Nilly energy there as well. Hightower. Hey, just joined. Can you maybe show Sith Draft? A break between games? I did. You are just late, my man. That's the Sith Draft here. And Magic Sonne. Cheers. I think I even messaged you the other day on Twitch. Wait. 456123789. Actually, that's not correct. It is 4561237 So know your math. Pi. Pi is not included. Flo, apparently not a Star Wars fan. Do I have my Star Wars t-shirt? No. Not knowing what shirt I'm wearing. Okay, extra, let me think about it. What are we saying? It's simply no.
I had to unmute myself on Discord just so your entire stream could hear the sound of me typing chat off, Nilly.
Yeah, good. I can do that as well.
Beautiful mechanical keyboard sounds. What are you doing? Just using both of your index fingers? Perfect. That's definitely more characters than chat off. For a certainty.
Okay, we are back into the game. And for everyone who doesn't know this map, this is called TIE Fighter from Star Wars. Everyone who didn't know that, kind of rewatch all episodes. And yeah, no, it wasn't 3.5-0. It was 3.5-8-0. Right? And now 9. Do you know the order of all Star Wars movies, Onlu?
It was, like, in terms of when they were made, it was just 4 through 6, 1 through 3, and 7, 8, 9.
Ah, but the other ones. I think it's 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 7, 3.5, 8, 0, 9.
Oh, yeah. Because I honestly stopped following Star Wars after, what was it? the first one of the very new ones. The one that was just a redo of A New Hope. I thought that was boring.
What was wrong? Sorry, I need to ban someone out of my chat.
Oh, okay.
Say again. What was wrong?
I just stopped following Star Wars after the first one of the Disney Star Wars movies.
Ah, so 7. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 7.
Yeah. Okay.
Regardless, we're on Rooster.
Kind of a bugged map for Fire, by the way, for everyone who didn't see it. We're kind of on the other side of the world, and to Sheep very far away as well. This is a really ugly, unfortunate map for Fire.
Yeah, I don't see anything that would necessitate an F1Re, but that's a horrible map. That's.
And he won't see the boar. John is actually luring him into it. Ah, that was very lucky for Fire.
That was pretty lucky for Fire, but that's about the only bit of luck that's gone his way this game because, that's Fire laughing.
John can just camp it.
Oh yeah, no reason for him not to. I guess the Scout does have a little bit less HP.
Yeah, but still, oof.
Needing to grab Loom this early on Rooster of all maps, not what you want to be doing. This is a pretty much pure aggression water map in the early game.
Oh dear, even blocking here. Fire down to 16 HP. Oh, this is going to be a rough one. Next year's blocking as well. Look at that. But blocking both at least.
At least the deer is egalitarian and it's blocking. Okay, nope, that villager is very likely dead.
House block, Fire. It's 2019. Oh.
My God.
Even Doubt is trying to do the move like that. Those.
Oh no.
Honestly, I would give you really good odds for Fire winning this series. No.
Wait,
I think he's emotionally broken. The last game, now calling the restart on his map, and this start.
JorDan lost
so
Bill too, though.
What? Why?
I don't know, man.
Oh,
I was
God.
thinking of Firesville.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a little awkward.
If this was my tournament, I would reduce their prize money if they lost villagers like that.
Just, you know what? Neither of you deserve to win this game.
Yeah, disqualify both. And
Ripperino.
let's invite back T a second time.
Just throw out the invite to Bacti, even though he's probably already qualified. I forget the total list of everyone who's qualified, but
yeah, very likely.
Regardless, JorDan clicking up will be a little bit ahead of Fire. Actually, more than a little bit, considering this is such an aggressive water map.
Oh, someone asking me, Nilly, why are you so fond of betting? Addiction, my friend. Feels Nilly, man. Some people don't know me.
Feels Nilly, man.
Fire with a horrible time. 1050 here. Even adds another fishing ship. Goes to the very top. Tries to redock. JorDan didn't even scout the first one. Not a second lumber camp for Fire. Weird start.
Yeah. So, question, Nilly.
Oh, drumroll.
It is a fair question, I promise. So these days we've been seeing a lot of like Japanese, Malay, Italians. I think those are like unquestionably the 3 best water civs. Which one of the 3 do you prefer? Do you think any of them like have an edge over the other?
I think it's heavily depending on the map. We are only talking about Rooster?
If we're talking Rooster or say Baltic, like a pure aggression water map.
I think Rooster and Baltic are, for example, different.
Well,
let me
you
say...
can backdock on Rooster, but it's not great.
Yeah, no. But Rooster is even more over and you have an easier start. So Malay, for example, becomes stronger than compared on Baltic.
Okay, fine. Say islands then.
Oh, islands? Vikings are the best.
Really? You think you can get away with Vikings?
Yes.
Yeah. I think that, especially since we've been seeing top players have a greater desire to switch into galleys earlier these days, we've been seeing that a lot in ECL.
Yeah, like, it was always good to create galleys early on. People just didn't know. And I was always like, there is still a water triangle. People are just staying on fire galleys for way too long. So I just felt people misplayed very heavily in the last, let's say, year on water. And, well, to answer your question, I feel Italians are a bit better. The most mistakes I see, if we have Italians against Japanese, is staying onto fishing ships too long and trying to snipe them. Exactly the thing JorDan is doing now.
Trying to do the exact thing that... don't do the thing that Jordan's doing right now. Like, that was, like, a perfect timing, but, like, in the worst way for poor Jordan. But yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that Italians are just the most well-rounded, can have the earliest uptimes.
Demo could connect. Oh, didn't. Nice distance kill here. Demo from behind. Maybe could shark in. Oh, Jordan is trying to split, but then goes into the army. That's a really good engagement for Fire so far.
Yeah, of course, when you spend all that time splitting your ships and trying to, you know, minimize the impact of one demo ship, then you're just giving so much free, I guess, fire time for the fire ships of fire to fire upon the ships of Jordan.
Oh god, you're casting. You know what it is?
What? It's a fire galley.
It's on fire. Your casting is on fire?
Yeah, you were following up. I thought you were making fun of me because I said fire ship instead of fire galley.
No. Yeah, I would never point out a mistake of a co-caster.
Oh, okay. I totally would.
I know. You always do.
Oh yeah. Gotta keep each other honest and humble.
Yeah, makes sense. Humble, especially. Yeah. Try to keep me humble.
Oh yeah. You know, it's always an uphill battle, but we do our best.
Yeah. Okay.
This has really been not the greatest engagements for Jordan. He is kind of pushing back though.
More demos are coming over. Jordan, for now, only one single demo ref from him, but now has solid numbers. 9 against 8 military, not fighting with all of them though. Fire now sending more at the top. I'm a bit surprised. It looks just so much more on water here, Jordan. 10 to 6 military at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, we should be expecting Jordan to win this, you know, decisively just because he had the much faster uptime. A couple of his fire galleys are super low.
Oh, he's doing a good job of microing them back. Look at that, 1 HP saved. We have another one at 4 HP and 4 HP saved. Beautiful micro here by Jordy.
Beautiful micro, but because he is splitting off the weaker fire ships, it's not like he's taking great fights overall, although baiting Fire's fire galley, a little bit pretty nice for him. Still no fishing ships killed, and it looks surprisingly even, I would say, considering the stark difference between these guys.
Yeah, not too sure. We have nearly all full HP fire galleys here. 11 against 6. So Jordan should take better fights. Look at that. He can just go for a big surround against all that. Just needs to avoid big demo hits.
Yeah, definitely does need to avoid that. Fire, again, seemingly not with the production he needs. All of his docks are idle right now. Okay, just started queuing up one fire galley, but that is an incredibly underwhelming fire galley hit. And I feel like Jordan might try and swamp Fire, though he is pulling back right now.
I'm a bit surprised by that as well. Was fighting 5 against 4, maybe 5 against 2 there for the start. But, well, he's just transitioning into Castle Age. Oh, was lacking the Blacksmith. Otherwise, he would already be up, and that's something we could not say for Fire. Who has solid resources as well, though.
Yeah, Fire won't be too much slower. Of course, you do have the power of Japanese fishing ships on your side. Definitely. Have you seen the ECL finals yet, Nelly?
Yes.
Okay.
What
like,
question
I
is
won't
that?
spoiler people. Well, I'm not sure if you were waiting. I don't remember. But yeah, like
ECL finals? 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. I don't know if you were. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you were busy and couldn't cast it or something. But
what do you think has priority in my life over ECL finals?
Fair point. Fair point.
I have no life.
Yeah, that's
why I'm immortal, right?
It's called Age of Empires. It's called the best life.
Yeah, true.
Also, Fire's transporting some villagers over.
But Jordan already walling this off. Oh, so brutal.
Of course, the villagers could just transport around, but Obviously, time is essential, he said to the villagers that were idle doing absolutely nothing.
Demo connecting okay-ish there with the low HP that he still had left. Fishing ships now becoming less and less efficient. JorDan with the stable even. Oh, but a good demo hit in the center.
That was a juicy demo hit there for Fire. Definitely something he needs. Stable coming in, as you're saying. So it will be for the Knight play, but Knights get stopped by Palisade walls, unfortunately. Oh, did JorDan see? Oh,
JorDan
man. Just
didn't.
missed.
Oh, 2 tiles
Just
away
missed.
there.
That's a bit unfortunate for Mr. JorDan, but he is going to have his own stable at home, actually. So he'll probably be fine.
Yeah, JorDan has 0 problems. I think the question is, will he build a transporter at some point? Not really so far.
Also, you could tell that JorDan was in full AOC mode because he went and just instantly clicked the hotkey for fletching, thinking okay, I gotta get War Galley, I gotta get Bodkin. Except then he realized, wait a minute, I don't have any galleys, so he canceled the fletching upgrade.
It's a good demo hit here, and well, Fire just plays full on land aggression from here on, gives up water, no more production there. Well, 2 fire galleys, but that's it. Did add 1 TC. JorDan, a monk defense, and he wins the game.
Yeah, and obviously both these civs have very strong monks, but the fact that JorDan is going to have just pretty secure water control right now, I think that Fire should have canceled these ships if he hasn't already. Should definitely cancel those ships. They're not going to do anything for you. But yeah, I think JorDan just needs to play safe, play defensive, and should be in a pretty good spot.
I think so as well. Built the transporter here, and yeah, we'll land around, but we should have enough knights to clear that up. For JorDan builds his own TC there, a monk there to defend as well. Probably we will see a transporter indeed, and JorDan cleans up the fish now.
Yeah, that's going to be obviously super important. Again, these last sort of straggler ships from Fire, I feel like they could have been so much more in terms of just maybe another town center, at least faster, or something else, run a bunch of farms or whatever. Because Fire does have the villager lead right now. Obviously, JorDan will be able to fish boom once again, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was a big waste.
Oh, let's see. Knights are now moving in, can do some damage. JorDan, meanwhile, is he adding some fishing ships? Yes, he is. Transporting his own knights here. Quite some losses at his woodline. Well, let's take a look. 13 more villagers for Fire already.
Yeah, I said he had the villager lead, and then Fire swept in. Really beautiful position, just like the perfect angle to send in the knights. Totally unscouted by JorDan. Got several villager kills there, maybe 5 or 6. It looks like maybe we'll even get another 1 or 2 for the road. JorDan still hasn't sent his knights over. Gotta set sail, man.
Oh man, and 3 TCs working. JorDan lost so much here. The monk even in some danger, got a good conversion. Is now coming over, build a lot of scouts against the monks here. That's a beautiful move, and Fire's aggression will be stopped when it comes to that regard.
Indeed it will, and JorDan landing with his knights right near the base of Fire. For the most... Okay, but Fire has scouted it. For the most part, Fire's economy is actually fairly secure. It's mostly just like the periphery where like his gold miners are. But it looks like he'll instantly be sending those away, and is actually striking back at the base of JorDan. Gonna at least be getting some more villager kills for the road.
Let's take a look. For now, he got 1 villager kill. Uh-oh, rewall didn't really happen. JorDan, he has knights. He could use them there against the scout. Would be so good for him. Monk is getting home alive. Has Sanctity, and the raid of JorDan without any upgrades, I don't think will do too much.
Yeah, definitely, like I was saying, Fire is at least relatively secure at home. If he gets this quick wall in, which I think he will, and indeed that will be the case, probably won't even matter, I just don't see any real way for these knights to get a ton of damage done. They are actually causing a lot of idle time right now, but provided Fire gets everybody back to work, and I think he should, I think that won't be too bad of a deal for him. He's 20 villagers ahead.
And he is trying to retake water as well. Look at that. Triple redock here at the site. 6 fishing ships for JorDan, so that's a nice eco boost for him at the moment. This could get ugly for JorDan, losing water and getting pressured on land.
Well, it looks like the land pressure has kind of petered out from fire, seemingly just with a monk. Oh, I guess there's a few cavalry to the left, but fire's not really going to be able to bust in that side. So it really definitely going to be much more of a shift back onto the water. Of course, Jordan does have plenty of fire galleys or fire ships now left over from the feudal age. It's just going to be a matter of when does he actually scout these docks, if ever, before the ships launch for fire.
At the moment, he isn't scouting that at all. Scout's a bit behind fire, which makes a lot of sense. And, well, some more aggression here at the front. Oh, beautiful move by fire, blocking off that relic here. JorDan at 3 TCs as well. This is still a very interesting one. I thought it would have been long over, but JorDan taking heavy losses and fire a beautiful boom.
Yeah, I think this is still anyone's game at this point. Again, we keep on seeing fire somehow manage to sneak his way in here in the north side. Knights still could get some damage done, even though, like, no upgrades have been invested into the Knights for either of these players, but one dude has been able to find damage with, the other hasn't really been able to find anything more than idle time conversion even coming in here. Poor fire is going to lose the monk there. Might have not had to necessarily do that, but still, no real villager kills likely coming in. And I would say only 9 fishing ships for JorDan. I feel like he could have had more, especially since they are cheaper as Italians.
Yeah, I think so as well. Would have loved to see them earlier. Don't know about gill nets. Oh, but fire now with a big flock coming in. And JorDan, he is adding some war galleys in the spot where demos could be really important. Adding some as well there. Water up for grabs again.
Water totally up for grabs. Especially since there's no bodkin for JorDan, I think it's just going to be a matter of fire. Oh, day, but what is that engagement?
It wasn't really an engagement. He just right-clicked in there. Demo hits could now be big. JorDan needs to micro back a bit. And Demo's now moving to the front. Let's take a look. Can JorDan get the connections he wants to? First Demo positioning himself quite nicely. Even triggers the sound effect, but didn't actually explode.
Always kind of funny when that happens, because there is, for some reason, a small attack delay for demo ships. Those fire ships are all clumped up. Of course, with the faster reinforcements coming from the docks from JorDan, he will at least be able to stave off fire's aggression for the time being, and has clicked up to the Imperial Age, notably. Even getting some raiding done here with this war galley next to the TC of fire, causing a ton of idle time, actually. And fire is nowhere near the Imperial Age.
Yeah, he's sitting as 200 food, 70 gold. Did add dock number 4 and 5 now. Tries to go for some sneaky landings here at the right hand side. JorDan does not see that. Will get a conversion against him. Is fire. He is trying to go for a castle at the right hand side. Should be spotted by JorDan though.
Yeah, castle should be coming in. Knights instantly there to say no. And the villagers all just have to do a 180 and run back. But JorDan, rounding out his attacks, grabbing Careening, grabbing Bodkin, obviously going to be super nice to have those. I think in ECL we saw the value of Careening over the course of that finals. And yeah, I think JorDan, once he hits Imp, he's just going to start trashing the base of fire. It's so exposed by water.
Oh, but the timing of fire perfect here on water. We'll have the fighter shortly before we have fast fires. Let's take a look. It's a bit too many galleons for me. I think some more demos could have been nice. Fire has proven that he isn't really switching into galleons pretty quickly here. JorDan not with the fast fire upgrade.
Yeah, and of course Italians don't have the heavy demolition ship. So, oh, that was a nice demo hit for JorDan. But yeah, obviously that's not really...
Okay, I was surprised. I was confused.
Wait, about what? Sorry?
I was confused. I thought JorDan reached Imp, but just... My mind didn't work properly. Okay, now we're Imp. Now we can get the upgrades. And now JorDan can take the engagements again.
Instantly grabbing Galleon.
Yeah, that was a misclick.
Fast fire.
Yeah.
Oh, rip those villagers. But yeah, of course, Italians do have the half-price stock text, which is obviously at its most potent in the Imperial Age, because 1, you have the most upgrades, and 2, the upgrades are at their most expensive. So you can get a pretty nifty shipwright, dry dock timing. Obviously, fast fire and galleon are kind of a no-brainer, whatever you're going for. Monks even here defensively. 5 defensive monks with Sanctity can be really nice as fire ships really struggle to deal with those guys. And now with fast fire ship in, all those pretty Italian fast fire ships going to be pushing our red player back.
Yeah, and right hand side, walled off by JorDan, can get another castle up there, then could go for some traps. Cannon Galleon could be an option as well. Fire tries to go for some guard tower defense. It's looking really good for JorDan. Yeah, he's 30 villagers behind, but full water control.
Yep, full water control has proven time and time again on water maps to be much more important than having the greater villager count, because you have a good economy but can't do anything with it. It's not really worth a whole lot. Now a castle coming up in this little no man's land area with a golden stone. Obviously, JorDan can make trebuchets, Fire cannot, though he has just clicked up to Imp himself. The guard towers will likely shoo away the ships, at least for the time being. Unfortunately, Japanese do not have heated shot, so I guess Italians don't either.
Well, I think the upgrade bows are really rushing for at the moment. And yeah, it could have been nice. We don't even have fletching, so that could have been something for towers as well. Castle at the right hand side, perfect spot here. The Monk maybe could get a 1 or 2 conversions. And yeah, it's looking better and better for JorDan here.
Yeah, and I think that Italians just have the better late game army than Japanese anyway. Even if we do go into a land v land situation, Italians have the better archers. They have a cheap gunpowder. Do have to be a little bit careful, JorDan. Don't want to lose your trebuchet, but it looks like the knights are sufficiently weak to get instantly mowed down by that castle.
Yeah.
And again, blue player pressing his advantage.
Yeah. Let's take a look. Galleon tech could become an embracer as well. JorDan sitting at 90 villagers, so did cut down that villager deficit here. Fishing ship count down to 0 though.
Yeah, again, I would like to see him add a few more fishing ships. I mean, it's such a good source of income. Actually switching into Cavalier, interestingly. I mean, I guess, why not?
Why not a Condor landing? I heard that's a good one. If you're ahead and you have the tech advantage.
Yeah, condos, obviously. I'm still not sold on them, especially since they don't have any pierce armor anymore. Like, just once fletching comes in, and like all the town centers and castles and towers and stuff, they're just gonna shred through condos potentially. Although, of course, like maybe causing the idle time is worth it. Yeah. But I think Cavaliers will be just fine.
Well, you might force some more towers, and then yeah, you can just go at the right hand side. But yeah, Cavaliers is indeed fine. We would love to see some more upgrades on those Cavaliers, though. Not a single upgrade.
Yeah, we are totally unupgraded Cavalier, not something you see too often. And despite the Samurai's best efforts to do a mighty war dance to summon the mighty armies of the Japanese, not going to be too helpful. They successfully summoned a Mangonel.
Let's take a look. Castle should be in range against that Mangonel, but didn't focus on that one. And the Mangonel gets the double kill here. No, not really.
Oh, that could have been a double kill. But yeah. Regardless, it looks pretty over for Fire. Gonna call the GG. Also, in the north side, you can just see attempted redock from Fire totally getting cleaned up by the fast fire ships of JorDan. And that was kind of a strange one, Nilly. But JorDan definitely, especially like once the mid game sort of transpired, definitely looking to be in a much better spot.
And honestly, this isn't a great map, Rooster. We played it in the old days, liked it for a short time, but then realized there's no potential for comebacks. Fire did everything right. JorDan even screwed up on multiple locations. And still JorDan was miles ahead simply because he had a bit of a better start and it just snowballs. Games are kind of decided at the 15-minute mark. Whoever is ahead at 15 minutes wins the game. And, well, JorDan just played it down beautifully here.
Yep. I mean, at that point, it's really just incumbent on the person ahead to be making mistakes, which is not too likely when players are this good. And that's not really the, I think, greatest... If that's your only comeback mechanic, that's not really great map design, in my opinion.
Okay. Then let's take a look. We have JorDan with a better KD, larger army there as well. Fire with a better eco, but can never really be that cost efficient once you lose water.
Yeah. Although I do think that the expansion water civ triangle balance, I do think that makes for a lot more interesting late games, especially when it comes to water, provided it's a bit more even going into it.
Not on this map, right? Because Galleons,
not on this map.
You cannot hide, you cannot go anywhere. That's why it's basically only demo against fire ships.
Yeah,
you
but
just add war galleys when you have water control to do a bit more damage on land.
Yeah, and of course, once you do add those war galleys, then they just can cover so much surface area of your opponent's base because you can sail around too.
Okay, I need to go for the toilet, and we will talk to each other in 3 minutes.
See ya.
Okay, I will give you a beautiful song made by MBL himself, at least on the performing side. Let me see. I'll never play Arena again. Listen to that one. A beauty from MBL.
This is the dumbest map ever. Fucking shit. I hate Arena so much. I will never play it. You heard me. I covered one bug. I covered it back. 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 I don't understand. How can people enjoy playing shit map like that? I covered one bug. I covered it back. I covered one bug. I covered it back. Never. I'll never play Arena again.
Ayo, I was late. but we didn't miss anything of the game. They are 6 seconds in and something happened. Go back, Miss Civ. Maybe Onlu can tell us what happened here. Enjoy. Go back, Miss Civ. Or you want to continue? Go back. I was setting 2 to 90. But I'll ask them what happened. What happened there?
So potential drama, probably not. So as far as I can tell, it somehow Fire accidentally picked Byzantines when he was trying to pick another civ, probably Malay. I don't know how you mix up Byzantines and Malay, but you know, he's like, oh crap, and then he paused like at second 1, and he asked T90, and T90 said they could redo it.
Wouldn't happen in my tournament.
Yeah.
Why? Why would you allow him to repick?
Like Fire said, he clearly had a civ for that map, and yes, people have been playing Malay on that map, but
yeah, but why did he pick Byzantines? He confused maps probably, Cup and Bay.
Maybe.
But still, that's Fire's mistake.
Yeah, that's like, to me, like the craziest part of all of it is it's not like the two civs are like right next to each other alphabetically.
I'm not sure if he maybe picks it in Portuguese.
In Portuguese, it wouldn't matter because it would still be.
Do you know Byzantines and Malay in Portuguese?
I can almost guarantee you that Byzantines and Malay are not both starting with the letter M in Portuguese. It's not that different from English.
Okay. What's the starting letter of Magyars in German?
I don't know. What?
H. No. You. My bad.
Letters are hard. Is it from like Uralic, as in like the linguistic base of the Magyar language?
Maybe from Hungary without the H at the start.
Oh, okay. Well, that's less fun. Anyway,
that's fun. Less fun.
Yeah, less fun.
Okay,
but we're on Cup.
So
and
yeah, we could discuss drama, but let's just accept it as it is. And we're on Cup. You wanted to say?
Yep, we're on Cup. Like you're saying, it's not our place to be making these decisions. So the decision's been made, and we're on Cup. And I actually really like this map. I think it's both Cup and Bay are pretty fun maps. I think they are welcome additions to the map pool. I've seen several great games on this map. In particular, Dogao versus Cloud, I believe, was really good. It was actually this exact same Civ matchup too, Franks versus Malay. Of course, JorDan will be our Frank player. Fire will be our Malay player. What do you think, Nilly?
Yeah, the Dogao and Cloud game was really good. I agree. But I felt like Dogao kind of misplayed. In my books, Malay are really strong on this map. You have the good eco, you can control water, you can go for water quite quickly, and well, if it gets to Imp, Harbors just feels so strong at the moment.
Yeah, definitely I feel like people are realizing the power of a tower that doesn't cost stone. That can also train units, incidentally. Yeah, obviously you can just spam them all along the shoreline here in the mid to late game, and that can really, really help facilitate any sort of push along the land, because you don't really ever want to push units across water past the early game, because then you are at risk of getting them all blown up by demo ships. So yeah. Definitely, I think Malay, for the same reasons you were saying, very strong Civ. But we have seen Frank several times on this map. Do you think there's any
Layman
real
coming.
reason?
Layman coming from JorDan.
Lane.
Oh no. No. Fire sees it. John wanted to go around, is taking some HP away from that villager, but is going away. JorDan, by the way, is contesting the water, is sending 5 on wood.
5 on wood, and they're both
Oh,
docking
blocking villager, sorry. But he gets it home.
She does indeed make it home, although this might delay the economy of fire just a little bit. But yeah, it looks like you're saying, both players going for the early water play. Why do you think that these, or why Franks? Because I don't really see the extra special value that this Civ has here.
I don't know either. And I criticized Togao for that. Maybe we need to ask some players and they have better answers. Unfortunately, we only casters.
Yeah, well, you, me, and doubt. Just casters.
Yeah. Well, it has to be because you get so much map control through the center. It's basically never really an easy wall at the front because the TC somewhat spawns so close to the water, but the back is always wallable, so...
I have never seen players struggle to wall themselves in on this map, and I think that's one of the reasons that Melee is so good, because where I think Melee can struggle a ton is when you have maps that are vulnerable to early aggression, because you have that sort of more fragile economy in the early game, but if you can kind of wall yourself in nice and safe, you're just totally set, and that's, at least from what I've seen so far, totally been the case every single time. Regardless, though, JorDan will be our first player to click up as Franks, but I mean, obviously Melee will be able to catch up no problem. Looks like we'll be going up. Wait, is JorDan going up without Loom? No, he is.
Yes, Loom. Sending low
Yeah,
HP
just one
villagers
villager
out,
later.
though. At the bottom, kind of risky.
Wait,
Interesting. Low HP villagers at the second wood line. Has a lot of villagers on wood now, sends 3 on gold. Scout harassing the fishing ships.
yeah, it's a very real threat in the early game, because turns out fishing ships are really bad at not dying to melee units if the melee units can attack them.
Well, but what I haven't seen yet, you can just put them in the center of the pond, and then the scout cannot attack.
We have seen players attempt this.
Oh, okay.
At least I've seen players attempt this. Unfortunately, it's really hard because, if they're just a little fraction out of position, then the melee units can attack them.
Yeah, probably. Oh, fire! He was so close to kill that scout, but let it go.
Wait, why?
I have no idea. Maybe Scout wants to see what JorDan is up to, but with Franks, that's kind of on the obvious side. 1 dog by him, fire, 5 villagers there, pretty much in the center. Is he going for some aggression?
Yeah, I was gonna say this kind of screams aggression. Building it right on the land, I don't really know why. I mean, you can build it on the mangrove terrain. If he's gonna go forward, I mean, you could just build the dock right where that female villager on the left was. Or barracks, rather.
Yeah, well, doesn't really feel intuitive. So maybe he didn't go for that. First fishing ship going down. First tower here. JorDan rushes out to build the counter tower. We'll get a good start against the spearman and the scout here. This is an okay start for JorDan, I would say.
Okay start. He did lose his scout in the north, though. I think that Fire needs to bring his own spearman down. Got to get that fat spearman bonus damage against ships in the mix.
Let's take a look. Can the tower attack the fire galley? Yeah, he can. Oh, can he? No, he can't.
No. I mean, the fire galley can just park himself right next to the tower like he did. And also, fire looks to be mistargeting the tower entirely. Yeah. Okay, so spearmen are going to go for the fire galley. Oh, not even able to get one yet. Obviously, spearmen forced to be in range of the watchtower of JorDan. And yikes, Nilly, this is not how fire wanted this to be going.
Oh yeah, what a fail so far. Luckily he didn't lose any villagers. Forced some idle time as well. But fire, 2 fishing ships for him, 2 fishing ships for JorDan. It's going for another one, and those are 3 more villagers. What is this? Full aggression from fire?
He's going in. I mean, this is, we haven't pointed this out yet, but this is Fire's tournament life. No,
No, it's not.
Best of 7.
Best of 7. Whoever wins 4 games wins this one. At the moment,
Still.
Jordan only at 2. But yeah, this should go very well for Jordan. What is Fire up to?
The throwing? Oh, man.
Oh, God. 9 units already going down. Fire galleys. Jordan not doing the very best job ever to not die to the tower there, but now 5 villagers behind, and those are still idle. And he should be the one being ahead by 2-3 villagers.
Yeah, I mean, like you're saying, Lay should be ahead in economy. Like, that's just how the Civ operates. Nice, actually, repairs coming in, though, for Fire.
A demo would have been so nice there.
Oh, yeah, it would have. Actually, building a watchtower on the island with the gold seems kind of strange.
I think it's for fighting in that area there.
I guess so.
Another tower, scout, and he will just wreck those villagers all low HP. Fire loses this one. 15-minute game, what are we witnessing?
That looks like Fire tilting.
What did I tell you?
Yeah.
This is Fire, and honestly, I talked to Viper before at LC2 and asked him like, oh, Fire, how well will he perform? And will he qualify? And Viper told me Fire will never win an important match in his life.
Oh.
Well, I'm not sure if he was that drastic, but he said he will
ain't-
choke every single important match. And
Viper ain't messing
Damn.
around.
damn,
He did beat Jordan at NAC too, to be fair.
yeah, but that was unimportant group stage.
That's also true.
Lost
This is a much more important match between the two.
Phew. And that's what I said, right? Restarting game number 3, throwing that game number 2, then having such an unfortunate map generation for 3, and now this weird all-in here with 0 chances of success.
Like, in what world does that work? Like,
If John didn't pull a single villager.
which no player of Jordan's caliber would ever do. Like, that's just such a weird decision. But we will be going to Cross, I believe?
I think it should be the home map of Fire now, and it should be Cross and Mongolia. The next 2 maps there, even starting to spec delay already.
Indeed it will.
Oh man, that was so weird, guys.
I'll see you in a couple minutes.
2:30 to go. Let's quickly take a look at the Civ draft here. We are out of melee and out of Franks. Next map will be Cross. Then we have, I should put that a bit bigger for myself as well. Cross, Mongolia, and Bay. I think it's not looking too bad for Jordan. Fire Civilization to the left-hand side. Should have a good one with Byzantines for Bay, Malians. This was so weird. You forget Fire picking wrong civs shows how he's mentally right now. I didn't want to be too hard on him. Oh, yeah. That's weird. So weird. Why the tower near the water? He wanted to win the water there somewhat. I kind of want both Jordan and Fire to qualify. I want Jordan more to win. Fire was going at NSC kind of. So both won't have any chances of going deep in the tournament unless the bracket is super unfair. Right there, like 8 players, Jordan or Fire don't have any chances, I believe. But that's just me, and we have an interesting choice of civilizations here.
All right,
And-
Nelly. Down to the wire.
All right, Onlu, down to the wire.
Got Cross here. Possibly the last map of the series. Spanish versus Byzantine. So this is where JorDan is electing to go for his Spanish pick. Kind of thought we'd see that on Hideout, but
Yeah,
maybe
well,
that versus Byzantine.
that wasn't Hideout. It is a pretty strong civilization here. We have seen that a lot when we played Cross on 1v1s, and well, his map not too wallable at the front though, so his ideal approach of one backdog, full wall, and going conquistadors might be broken. The front too
I believe
open.
JorDan still has his restart though, right?
Yeah, pretty sure about that, yeah.
So he could elect to use this here. Of course, he is leading by a couple games. So would you want to use your restart if you're already far ahead and you're going to be taking your boar?
Probably not. And also, just keep the flow running, right?
Yeah.
This is so good for you as well to be in this game. I think it is shady, but I think Fire just should have taken a 5-minute break here. Just smoke, sit back. Yeah. This would have been good for him. The question is, like, for now, we as tournament organizers don't have rules against that. I think there should be some, but I think Fire needed a quote-unquote short timeout.
Yeah. We saw how good that was for Tato in the NIC2 finals, where, you know, he was getting clocked by Viper. And yes, obviously he still lost, but I think you would agree that the series looked much closer after the halfway point.
Yeah. Well, he won the second half, right? 3-2.
Yes, he did. Fortunately, he was just too far behind in the first half.
Okay. So, Doc in the back here, exactly what we're expecting. Byzantines, why did he pick that one here on Cross?
Probably because, you know, you really want to civ with good cavalry and bloodlines, and that's why you pick Byzantines every time. Oh man, but in reality, probably just going to be because they're a solid defensive civ. I think they're pretty good against Spanish, honestly.
JorDan! JorDan!
What?
JorDan!
Paging
JorDan!
Mr. JorDan!
I knocked a bit late. Oh! But he saves the villager there.
There we go.
Luckily, I knocked in time. Oi, oi, oi.
Just barely managed to wake him up there. He even had Loom, which is a bit odd that he'd grab Loom so early. But
luckily for him, yeah.
Saved his butt there.
Yeah, true. And didn't wear his noise-canceling headphones and could hear me in the end.
Hear you from clear across Germany.
Yeah. Well, Germany, it's basically from A to B, you can just walk there.
I mean, as far as an American is concerned, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's a quote from an American Eurotrip.
Oh, there you go.
London, Paris, you can basically walk there.
Yeah, I mean, just takes a couple days.
Well, and you need to swim some as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, you could just walk along the channel, get run over, but, you know, do it.
Yeah, well, the game progressed while we were making fun of JorDan's first boar here. He's trying to wall behind that. We have a lot of walls from Fire as well, who doesn't have Loom and is running into a wolf. I think the approach of Fire will be, drumroll, fast Imperial Age, Arbalest.
That is definitely the one strategy that Byzantines do better than any other civ. So when we see people pick Byzantines, a lot of the times it is for that fast Arbalest play. Just because, you know, obviously having that cheaper Imperial Age, so helpful in getting that timing down. My question is that going to work against what is presumably FC Conks? Because it's kind of hard for fast temp Arbs to bust through a castle.
Yeah, you can't kill the castle for sure. I think he will be walled, just no, he's going for some aggression. Okay, so 11 up timing, one villager at the front, probably tries to get a tower behind there. What's the plan? Oh no, he will sneak a dog, but that's walled off. So he can't actually attack the pond. Not the greatest scouting by Fire.
Well, he was luring several deer because he lost his boar, remember?
No, he wasn't pushing any deer. He has 3 close by.
There's 4. He definitely 100% pushed at least one.
Okay, I can live with one.
But still, you'd think that with only 1 deer pushed, that you'd still have enough time to scout. But at least at this point, he'll realize. I don't know if JorDan was able to see the villager with the Palisade LOS.
He could have, but it's unlikely that he actually had his eyes on it. Maybe the minimap. JorDan is very active on the minimap, so maybe he knows that something is up.
It's a possibility for sure. Fortunately, we can't really be certain. And it looks like Fire is just going to be going for the northern pond and the southern pond. Going to be just saying, let's go for 3 ponds. Take advantage of the fact that JorDan is kind of holed up in his base for the time being.
Yeah, I like the idea behind this, and well, then he just needs to be completely stonewalled, which he's doing now. So I think triple pond into stonewall, fast arbalest, maybe trap or bombard cannon is a good idea. I honestly, it feels weird to say, but I like the approach of Fire here so much that I think he's even ahead in this one.
Wow, even going so far as to say he's ahead.
Yeah,
That's no. I think
it's
the
triple dock and fully walled is really nice.
Yeah, I think that will be I think that's the good reasoning. I wouldn't go so far as to say he's like definitely ahead, but he's certainly not behind, and that's definitely, I think, going to be pretty important here for the mental state of Fire. Just knowing that, hey, I have 3 ponds, I'm going to have a pretty crazy fish boom if I want. It just needs to make sure he doesn't take any damage to the conquistadors.
Yeah, it's pretty important. Even luckily for him, being Byzantines, if Stonewall doesn't die to 1 petard, right? Oh, it still might. It still might.
Stonewalls already don't die to 1 petard.
In feudal age, they do.
Oh, in feudal age, yeah.
Well, he will be in feudal age for quite some time. If he plays fast imp, he will get like 21 minutes or 20 minutes castle age, 24 minute imp will be roughly his timing.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it's like plus 900 or something against stone defense, and I think the stone wall barely survives for Byzantines.
Okay.
Notably, there is a big old hole in the wall of Fire, at least right now.
Yeah, left-hand side is still open. Right-hand side, he needs a stone wall behind that. Goes for the second layer. I like that a lot.
Ooh, JorDan's coming forward with the villager.
Ooh. Drum
Oh,
roll.
nope.
Well, that should never happen. Yeah, John was trying to dock there as well. Had very little vision. Still has 15 HP on his scout. Will lose that one, though. That's really good for Fire.
Yeah, definitely. That's... Take any advantage you can get at this point.
Okay, mill finished. Now we can rush out the market. And... where is it? Okay, over here. I don't mind the position of Fire. Trap 1 villager here. Small fail. Oh no, not even that. This is tricky for John to break. I like the aggressive castle.
Oh yeah, that's I think a really important one, because you can't just let your opponent just get to the Imperial Age comfortably, because obviously Arbalest will just shred through conquistadors.
We don't have more stone to rewall. We have only 4 villages on stone. I think he might even consider buying 100 more stone. He needs more walls behind that.
He needs to buy stone 100%. Of course, it will take a little while for the castle to chop its way through. Obviously, petards will expedite the process, but it's still not super fast.
He's not attacking the walls yet. John should really focus on that ASAP. Needs to attack here. Double petard now. John losing a bit of time.
Yeah, and like you were saying, it is a very, I think, relevant difference that I think I'm pretty sure it takes 2 petards to knock through the stone walls for Byzantines.
Nah, you can just send burn petard and the castle kills the rest.
Oh yeah, because it's gonna be at like 100 HP or something.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Fire goes for more walls. Makes a lot of sense. Still, John's not attacking. Goes for 3 petards. Ay, ay, ay. And this is... Okay, yeah, breaks through. And
I
you will
guess
be
there's only
surprised. Yeah, one only is fine.
The more you know. But, well, obviously attempted walls for days. Is that a hole? Yes, it is. And now this conquistador is going to put itself on stand ground and... oh!
Oh, at 100 HP, the wall here, villagers going down. Fire, can he get this defensive tower up? Looks like it. Another petard could obviously open that again, or is he trying to right click? 120 HP, but now reaches castle edge, doubles the HP.
Yeah. Like, it's still almost certainly like Jordan's game to lose right now, just because he's already gotten so much damage done. But Fire is getting that wall off somehow.
And Fire isn't going for Arbalest defense, he is going for the monks now, but lost his main gold spots. So that's pretty ugly for him. Conquistadors are now squeezing through. Can Fire wall this off? Doesn't look like it. Oh, this is so ugly for him.
Yeah. He is only down 2 villagers, and he's up 10 fishing ships. Jordan's actually making the play for the water in the north, and has the war galley upgrade. So he'll actually be taking out the 3 fishing ships over here, but still Fire totally fishing for free in the south, but he's just losing so many more villagers at home.
No gill nets as well. Villagers are going down. Difference now is up to 6. Let's take a look if Jordan can get a snipe here. Just goes for the villagers. As we all know, 3 conks enough to kill a single villager with one shot.
Yep. No monk conversions just yet. The conquistadors will even take down the tower in fairly short order. There's the first conversion coming off, though I guess it was on the lowest HP one.
Oh, he can heal it up, and then HP didn't matter too much. And okay, let's take a look. Jordan now going in for the move, wants to snag some more monks. Can he get one? Looks like one snipe, second snipe, third snipe potentially here, but 2 conversions already against him.
Yeah, I still think it's fine for Jordan. Just because Fire's not up on the way to the Imperial Age.
Yeah,
So
still no gill nets.
yeah, no gill nets at all.
That hurts.
Yeah.
KD for Fire 2 to 22.
I'll be honest, that's not the greatest kill death ratio for Fire.
Okay, I'm very glad that you're honest from time to time.
Yeah. No, I do what I can. Oh god, even more villagers nice coming in, and I assume at this point, yes, the northern pond has been won by our blue player.
That's ugly as well.
Yeah.
If it was like 24 fishing ships to 8 or something, I would have said it's still doable for Fire. But
Well, it was 24 fishing ships to 8 like a couple minutes ago, but
Yeah.
obviously, just deciding to get the war galley upgrade, paying off in dividends for Jordan. Though more conversions are coming in here for Fire. What's
Okay.
Jordan's economy looking like at home? He does have a couple town centers, and of course his pond still.
Yeah, pawns indeed, pretty good for him. And well, all that is clear. Population actually even for both players, and Fire with 3 TCs. I still feel this is not too bad for him.
Yeah, it's certainly not great, but I think getting those conversions off were really critical. Oh, he might even snag a couple more here. One conquistador was deleted before the other one was snagged. And now, Fire's ahead in population. What is this?
Well, as I said, pawns are really important on cross. And let's take a look. Now trying to break out. Fire will go for the counter rate. And conk numbers for Jordan, not that high. Goes for double monastery himself now.
Yeah, there are more conquistadors for Fire than there are for Jordan right now. It's always a little bit awkward.
Yeah, that's true.
But of course, monasteries, monks, even atonement coming in. Inquisition, man. If Jordan remembers it exists, it could be really good. Fire finally getting gill nuts.
Yeah. Oh, let's take a look. Now the first raid in here. Gillnets comes in for Fire. And John is going over. think that shouldn't do too much, honestly.
Yeah, with the monasteries right there and the relevant conquistador production. Although, ooh, misclick on the deer by JorDan. Kind of throwing away a conch right there.
Oh, snipes another one. Fires micro. Pretty good at the moment.
Yeah, okay, one conversion did come off, but that was at the cost of a monk. And...
pretty even. Pretty random.
It's gotta deal with the conquistador accuracy.
Oh, fire up to Imp.
Fire's
JorDan,
up to Imp.
200 food,
And
100 gold.
Barracks is going to be the building of choice for Mr. Fire as the defensive castle comes down as well.
Why?
I don't know. I was just saying, Nilly, what choice wherein you would hopefully enlighten me as to the thing I missed as to why barracks would be a good option for Fire, but I think you're just as bamboozled as I am.
Yeah. I think Arbalest transitions so much more natural, especially if you only have 50 villages. It makes so much more sense. Traps as protection as well. And
17 fishing ships with gill nets is a lot of food income.
yeah. I still feel people aren't using the pawns enough, though. I think it wouldn't... Yeah, I wouldn't mind to even add 5 more, already start some fishing traps. If you have gill nets, those are so efficient.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. I mean, just look at that Atoll game from the grand finals of ECL. And anyone can go back and watch that. You can see the value of fishing ships.
Yeah, that was obviously with way better fish compared to Crosshair, where you run out eventually. But yeah, Nikov played a sick game there for sure.
Oh yeah, I think he had 3 times as much food as anybody else in the game.
Yeah. What was that? 14k sling to 1.6k or something? I think
Yeah, something
like that.
absurd.
Okay,
Because
JorDan.
Secret also went for like the half-hearted sling, which I thought was really weird.
Okay, so we have JorDan ahead by 14 villagers. Can click up to him now while Fire reaches it. Goes for block printing. We have atonement for both players, at least available as attack. JorDan still no Inquisition.
Nope, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition, not even JorDan.
No.
It's pretty unfortunate. And, well, I mean, obviously beyond that, both civs have effectively full monk tech trees. You know, herbal medicine notwithstanding, but no one really cares about that. Treb's instantly ready to go to work on JorDan's castle, though, which is definitely a big deal.
Okay, now collecting some relics. Hill control not really existing. JorDan, is he going for Halberdiers as well? No, he's going for Cav. So Halberdier Monk from Fire might actually be the best decision.
Yeah, so we were kind of confused by it, but JorDan obviously none the wiser about the Halberdier switch. And yeah, he's going for Hussars, and last time I checked, Hussars kind of get massacred by Byzantine Halberdiers. And yeah, this castle's obviously going to go down. This is honestly looking better and better for Fire.
Did I tell you? And that start actually was really bad early Castle Age, right? So this could have been even better for him. But well, he's still in this one, gets more gold, has more military at the moment. A bit more fish for him as well. Traps are now moving out. There's 16 villagers behind though, but simply the better tech for him. Oh, JorDan maybe adds some skirmishers now as well.
Skirmishers would be great. Hand cannons would be better, though of course that takes longer to get to. But Fire's making his play out on the map. Yeah, there's elite skirmisher coming in for JorDan. He needs something to deal with these, well, pikemen for the time being.
And
But
skirmishers
no castle even.
really good against pikeman monk. If you have like 30 skirmishers, it's just so cost efficient for you, so that won't be any problem. The thing is, castle went down without Inquisition, without conscription, so JorDan lacking some very important upgrades. And Fire going for the aggressive castle. Light cav running around, but a lot of pikemen to defend.
A lot of pikemen to defend it. Yes, a lot of these monks are going to end up dying, but actually, yeah, a lot of the monks end up dying. But the thing is, the reason I would said that the castle falling for JorDan was so important is that he's just got nothing to defend. He's gonna get his TCs popped in just a second.
Yeah, this is Fire's game.
Yeah, which is weird to say because he's down 700 score, but he is in an absolutely monstrously better position than JorDan right now. His production, stables are going to get destroyed really soon as well. Even just a couple converted light cav are going to be annoying for these villagers for JorDan. And what sort of long-term tech switch plan does he have? Just skirmishers? That's not really that great.
And another castle even for Fire. Yeah, he's missing fletching, so they don't reach that far. But, well, it doesn't really matter. Skirmishers now coming forward, but honestly, in the face of two castles, won't be that important.
Honestly, the skirmisher numbers are low enough that, yeah, these monks are actually getting some conversions in. Halberdier now done as well for Fire. That's obviously super important when it comes to killing these light cav before they kill all the monks. And that is exactly what we see right here. I honestly would have liked to have seen the castle from Fire just like a couple tiles over so it could get the hill bonus, but obviously not the biggest of deals.
Also, like, he didn't fear any real attack against him, so he could have built it a bit more ballsy. And, well, if JorDan just came over, the villagers would have made it into the second castle regardless, so could have been a good option. Redemption, now on the way, heavy camel and plate mail armor.
Fire's playing this so well, and obviously you're totally calling it as far as the game plan here from Byzantines. I'll go, I guess, substituting halberdiers for arbalest, but I guess when your opponent doesn't really have good archers and isn't naturally going to want to tech into a skirmisher counter, then yeah, the halbs have been working out wonders, because we saw that JorDan had to go, you know, light cav and then switch into skirmishers, which just gave a really nice window for Fire to get a lot of damage done.
Yeah, and that's what he did with all his traps. I don't really see the camel choice though. You already have a lot of halberdiers. Does he fear any... I don't know. Why is he going for camels?
I have no idea. I guess the camels, they're good against the light cav, and they're not horrible against the skirmishers, but I feel like you can just make knights. Cavalier.
He already has enough halberdiers, so maybe it's just to chase down raids a bit better.
Well, JorDan's make a big play with some cap rams at the walls of Fire, but those are Byzantine buildings, man.
Oh, taking quite some damage. Halberdiers are killing the rams eventually. Heavily housed now with Fire, and honestly, if it wasn't for game number 2, I would already be thinking about game number 6.
Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It's like, well, Fire should have it in the bag, but then I also said the same thing for game number 2, so who knows? Now getting scale-burning armor and husbandry. Still, excellent map control here for Fire. Notably, though, JorDan does have 4 relics, nicely tucked away in the back of his base.
Oh yeah, sweet there, sweet move there. He's preparing some rams now. Some cataphracts are really ugly against him though, and not sure how many upgrades they are having. +1 defense, nothing else.
Yep, definitely could be a bit better, and I've honestly been, at least in my own noob level games, been trying to actually mix in cataphracts more and more into my own armies, and honestly, I feel like, because as Byzantines you don't really spend much gold, right, because you're using trash units most of the time. I feel like cataphracts are just, they're possibly super good if you can actually get to them.
Ah, you are a fan of them. I remember King of the Hippo, where we actually produced them. True.
Oh yeah, because, well, the logic behind that was most of the best King of the Hill civs are infantry civs, Slavs and Malay and such. So cataphracts obviously just kind of smashed them. I was trying to go for like one big concentrated push in the middle, which almost worked, except I went against the one guy who went Mayans for some reason. Plumed archers, which was literally the one thing I couldn't deal with.
Yeah, well, the big problem there for cataphracts is that they have such a bad armor.
Yeah. Oh man, if I had just dislodged stuff on, or if somebody had dislodged stuff on, I think I would have won.
Well, there's a lot of ifs and... What? How is it saying? Ifs and? Ifs and buts? No.
Ifs, ands, or buts.
Ifs,
But
ands, or
that's-
buts? Not
That's
sure.
like no ifs, ands, or buts. That's like saying it's happening for a certainty.
Okay, no, I didn't want to go for that one. Well, there's a lot of
Yeah.
ifs and ifs for King of the Hippo for sure, or all King of the Hill scenarios. Now the big attack through the center here from JorDan. Populations are close to complement for both players.
Yep, military count's surprisingly even. That's a lot of monks, but they're not really going to get any value. It's mostly trash army from JorDan. Again, we're still a little bit confused by the camel play. Now we have halberdiers being mixed with JorDan. This castle is under a lot of fire.
The monk's
Oh,
not
it's-
helping at all. The castle is indeed going to go down here. Nice move by JorDan. Sweet attack timing. And all the cataphracts are going down at the front. 190 out of 190. JorDan again making some big moves here.
Nilly, if that castle was on the hill, it would have survived.
Ah,
If it was on that one tile of hill,
it's still 3 rams. It would have lived longer.
it would have lived long. At least it would have had a decent shot at living, as opposed to being very, very dead. But yeah, like you were saying, monks doing absolutely nothing. Cataphracts, obviously so expensive and slow to upgrade. Not really in fantastic numbers. You do see potentially Fire rounding out his, or bringing the rest of his army to bear.
Right inside will be
And-
cleared up at least. JorDan, if only he had a castle. If he could go for 2-3 traps, this would be so much easier for him to do the clear up here as well.
Yeah, he's going for siege rams. I wonder maybe bombard cannons, but Fire's already got his own bomber cannons, and of course there are monks with redemption, so that's kind of a moot point. But yeah, I think also the fact that JorDan is missing conscription is a really big problem for him in these drawn-out games.
True. Mass Lightcap now for Fire, who is also taking something into the skirm direction. Doesn't really have the greatest answers to the skirms of JorDan at the moment. He's sitting at all upgrades. Castle number 2 goes down. JorDan only 10 population behind and pushing.
And pushing is for a certainty. And I can't help but wonder, as awesome as cataphracts are, if the camels and the cataphracts were transformed into cavaliers with +2, +4, I feel like Fire would be in such a better spot than he's in right now.
I think so as well. Maybe some skirmishes earlier could have been nice for Fire. And also his monks didn't participate in the fight at all. Even if you have 12 monks, why not convert 12 skirms?
Yeah, it's certainly better than nothing, but army count for our blue player is kind of dwindling right now, honestly. Trebuchet is even feeling bold enough to come forward. Oh no, I'm getting game 2 flashbacks. Nilly.
But Fire as well. And he is going back. He knew what happened.
Oh man, that was perfect. But now the monks in a ton of danger. That's going to be a very expensive loss. And oh, that's not too pretty there for Fire.
Oh, he's killing all the army, losing all his monks in exchange.
Going for the double blacksmith play himself.
Oh, he's late with all his upgrades, right?
Yeah, I mean, because he was going for monks and I guess halves, so kind of a bit slower to transition over into the like the skirmisher upgrades especially, and I guess he can go for cavalry as well. But Bombard Tower in the way for JorDan. This I find a little confusing because he only has enough stone for 1.
He has another stone at the right hand side, even has a trap there. Oh, he built a castle now. Mixes him some hand cannoneers. I would have loved to see Hazar upgrade over anything else at the moment.
Yeah. You know this game is going to be, you know, a big old trash slugfest, and you have 2 of the best trash civilizations going up at it, so you really got to sort of maximize your civ in every way you can. Of course, Byzantines have the cheap trash, the Spanish have the full trash tech tree, but right now, Fire remembered how to hit his macro cycles this game, because he is way outnumbering JorDan in terms of army.
Yeah, but that was mainly because JorDan dove in there with his 25 skirmishes to snipe all the monks, and now we are only sitting at 2 monks. And that was obviously at the cost of a lot of production. JorDan just regrouping at the hill.
JorDan's regrouping at this hill, obviously sort of the most natural defense point for his base. trying to get some raiding in onto the base of Fire. Remember, Jordan does have 4 relics to 0, so he's definitely going to be benefiting from that in the long run. Fire actually just now getting conscription. That feels super late to me. But Jordan also taking stone on the right could also take the gold as well. Again, he probably just needs to buy as much time as he can to sort of weather the storm.
Yeah, if he survives, if this game goes another 20 minutes, Jordan is clearly ahead.
Yeah, like, couldn't agree more. It's just a matter of having the game go another 20 minutes.
Jordan also deleted all his fishing ships at the right-hand side. Wanted to stay efficient there, didn't want to have any population blocked.
Definitely not. Does have supremacy, so the villagers are going to be much harder to raid. It's super nice to have as Spanish in the late game. Like, people are always talking about supremacy for, like, the lol villager push memes, but honestly, just having your villagers that much harder to raid is just so nice in these sorts of games.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And I had a game yesterday where that also happened. And yeah, just easily, if you see a ram go coming with 6 rams, just to pull the 30 villagers, and suddenly they're like longswords fighting them down, that's so sweet as well.
Oh yeah, no, it's a really nice unique tech to have for a civilization that sort of thrives in the late game to begin with. Really just kind of accentuates that fact.
And siege workshop from Jordan here instantly going down. That was ambitious.
Admirable but mistaken. Oh man, yeah, I was just throwing it into the meat grinder. Jordan, what are you doing, man?
He is taking Hassan now. Bloodline's pretty late as well. What do you think? What should he do? Oh, 2 castles being rushed out at the right-hand side. This should be good for Jordan. Still has a trap around there as well. And will kill some of those villagers. Oh god, how did Fire not finish this game out yet?
By attacking into heavy camel for no real reason, I'd say, was one of the biggest problems. And, well, Castle has gotten completed for Fire. Does have a lot of HP on that guy. Jordan getting Masonry, though. Gotta love it. Already going to be trebbing down the Castle of Fire, as he had that treb there, as you mentioned. And it seems like we're... Wait, I'm saying that we're kind of at a stalemate in the middle, but look at the military council. Fire has 50 more military.
That's pretty brutal.
Why is he not patrolling his army into the base of his opponent? There we go. We're seeing it in the north.
And Jordan is adding some more stables. He's only producing out of 2 at the moment. That's not the number he wants to go for. And yeah, there's not a lot of halberdiers protecting that. And Fire, he's going back. Maybe could go for some rams himself finally.
Yeah, siege rams would obviously be excellent for both of these players at this point, as chewing through your opponent's production is going to be one of the most important ways to close out this game. Some heavy camels actually are in nice position here for Fire to defend at least against the rams. Trying to dive in onto the trebuchets of Jordan.
Oh, this is going to be a rough one. Will get the trap eventually, but will lose most of his camels. That trap should be saved. Oh, Jordan not going for the repair.
Oh, that's really costly, I feel, for Jordan. Just not having really any pressure at all on this castle. Okay, Treb just popping out, but it's still 4 Trebs to 1 at this point.
Yeah, castle
Fire's
of
running
Jordan.
low on stone, though. He's pretty much burned through most of his gold.
Uh-oh. That's still a lot of valuable resources at that site. That's the next step here for Jordan. He's at pop 190, pushing through the center, but all the rams went down. What is he doing with all his gold? Is he just going for rams? Some more traps from him.
Well, Fire has no gold right now. He's almost mined out the gold of the north. Would obviously love to take this gold here on the right-hand side. Obviously, it's why these players are fighting over here. Stone as well would be really nice. But, I mean, it's so hard to raid Spanish villagers, man. These camels, they're just, you know, throwing their wet noodles at the villagers.
Sometimes that is enough. And fight in the center. Not a lot of halberdiers at the moment for Fire. So if we get to like 8 hussars or something, that could completely crush the center army of Fire.
Yeah, totally. I mean, making sure that your army balance is on point is one of the most important like skills you can have for being a late game in the late games for Age of Empires. And yeah, like you're saying, even just grouping up whatever hussars he has and just going with them could do so much. But Jordan losing the right side is such a big deal, I feel.
It's ugly for sure. Bomber tower defense there against 4 traps won't be the most efficient thing ever. Let's take a look. He still has a trap as well. I feel like this is the spot where JorDan just should raid with a bit more hussars. Has 135 villagers at the moment, but quote-unquote only 48 farmers of those.
And I think wood is going to become a really big problem for JorDan. If you look at his wood count, he has the wood line on the right, which is pretty much the most functioning thing he has. Everything else is either gone, nearly gone, or very, very exposed. So I think that's going to be something definitely to look for in the upcoming minutes. Trebuchet's working down this final castle of JorDan. No Trebs down yet.
Yeah, and that looks like maybe one more trap can squeeze out. Not even that. Cataphracts are going to kill the trap of JorDan, and Fire's continuing his push. Big army in the center as well. JorDan, 50 military, could maybe clear that up in the center. Some bombard cannons could go down again. Bombard cannons now moving back though, and Hussars dying.
So many Hussars going to be dying right there. And it's just... getting Halberdiers attacking Hussars is, I feel like, just... it's one of the most important ways of being cost efficient in these sort of trash war scenarios. Just because of all the counter units that you're throwing, the Halberdiers are going to be doing the most damage. So making sure that they can sort of find pay dirt. It's just really, I think, an important way to sort of tip the scales in your favor. Fire finally getting a hand cart, and they even saw him getting like heavy blows super late.
Yeah, that was really, really late there with the upgrades. And oh boy, Nikov has to be proud with that. And let's take a look. Some raids here at the left-hand side. JorDan still at pop 180, but just losing everywhere at the moment, getting all the raids in his back. JorDan is ahead in population, but I think Fire got this, he said.
He said with absolutely no confidence. Oh man, I hesitantly agree as well. Again, wood is kind of a problem. We do see our blue player actually taking resources on the far left of the map. Even there's a neutral stone there that I kind of missed out on.
Oh,
But it's so hard to push up that hill.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps JorDan alive at the moment. Build some bombard cannons to defend himself now. Right hand side, he's holding onto that bombard cannon, not too important. JorDan, he's just very exposed with all his eco, and Fire, he's just sitting pretty well behind all his walls.
I said it was the meme, Nilly, but the supremacy rush is happening. Villagers taking down one Treb, 2 more looking like they're next in line.
Oh boy, one indeed going down. Oh, that's number 2 already. The other one is moving back, and I think they are surviving, both of them.
Yeah, I think so as well. Bombard Tower is still alive, but how long can you repair a Bombard Tower? That is so costly. But, again, JorDan's now even pushing in the middle a little bit.
Why? How? When? Where?
What? Who?
Whom?
All the questions. Oh, why? This doesn't make any sense to me. How JorDan could possibly be more cost efficient than Fire at this point.
I think it's a lot about production here. That JorDan is just so much more efficient. Fought on the hill for a very long time, then got his ram numbers up, and is now pushing through the center. Production looks good for Fire though.
Production certainly looks good for Fire. He has plenty of resources in the bank. He actually has like, what, 30 halbs at home not doing anything? That's a lot of halbs not doing anything. Definitely could use those in the middle right now.
Oh yeah, he's still, well, he's raiding some at the right hand side, so that's good use. But the center, he's really falling apart. JorDan, 15 more military at the moment. And if we discount those 30 halberdiers, it's more like 40 military more.
Yeah. Okay, looks like finally Fire is going to be bringing these guys to bear, but he's given up a lot of map control in doing so, and what this grants JorDan is another safe wood line, especially if the wood line at the south is not reliable income, to say the least. Having just that much more would income safe is going to be super important because he's pretty stretched for it right now.
So many rams as well pushing in here. How is the production of Fire looking now? He should have enough stables. Archer ranges are all going to die. He will have 0 archer ranges. And barracks, well, he still has 3 in the back, his first ones. But if the opponent has 0 archer ranges, mass halberdiers for JorDan could be really good now.
Yeah, for certainty. Now JorDan grabbing architecture and guilds, he's ready for this long haul. Fire has so much gold, he's not doing anything with it.
Yeah, but what could he do? I think Rams himself would be a good unit.
I feel like you're not thinking with enough elite cataphracts, Nilly. He has the gold, man. Why not?
2 castles. Maybe Cavaliers could have been an option as well. JorDan, he needs to keep his villager numbers high as well, though. Goes down to 112. Fine for now. But if he loses another 20, he needs to take a lot of care.
Yeah, especially because his army is more expensive by a lot than Fire's. Even if Fire hasn't had the most efficient economy for a while, his army's cheap. It's dirt cheap. I mean, having that 25% discount applied just so many times over the course of building all these trash units, it's why Byzantines are such a late-game powerhouse, but will scavenge up enough resources for a bombard tower here in the north just to protect that little bit of wood line. Again, Fire has a lot of resources that he's not doing anything with.
Fire just researched Siege Ram, but then realized, okay, that Siege Workshop is going down, now builds another one at the site. So wants to tag into that one eventually. JorDan military count, 85 at the moment. 55 only for Fire, still a lot of halberdiers and skirmishers. Not a lot of hussars, but he is lacking the +4 attack and bloodlines on those, obviously.
No. Fire has bloodlines. I don't know what you're missing, Nilly. Really need to catch that.
Okay, on to humor here for everyone.
Oh yeah, Orton level humor. But like on a real note, like I don't think that Siege Rams would be good, but I honestly believe that Cataphracts would be even better because there's nothing that JorDan can do that kills Cataphracts. And like he's even making some Cataphracts. Like it's just he's losing the castles because he's just losing so much momentum.
I think Cataphracts aren't that sick without all the upgrades, like the splash damage, without elite. They don't smash through skirm halberdiers unless you get like up to 20-25.
No, I was I guess implying that he could go for those upgrades because he had the resources for it. Well, not anymore, but he did a couple minutes ago.
Yeah, potentially.
Especially since and he already had all the other upgrades. Like, I think that it would be way too much to ask for if he didn't already have full upgrades for his cavalry, but he does. Okay. And right now, he's kind of just playing from behind. Like, he's making the same thing as his opponent and is just hoping that the Byzantine cost efficiency is going to carry him through, and it might, but it's not looking great right now for Fire.
Let's take a look at Fire's woodline. Here's the 2 ones in the center of the map. And yeah, the rest is kind of exposed, nothing in the back. So we talked about JorDan's woodline being exposed. Now we have to say the same about Fire.
For a certainty. And with JorDan getting these bombard towers up in pretty key positions, it's going to be that much harder for Fire to gain wooded income. Oh, Fire, my man. If he loses this game, Nilly.
Then I won't cast him in this tournament at all anymore.
But you won't know, Nilly. That's the whole premise of the tournament.
Well, I will know that I won't cast him. And if he loses at least. And GG. Good luck. JorDan is taking it 4-1 after Fire had honestly 3 horrible games. That Rooster game didn't feel great. Hideout weird as well. And this one, again, Fire in such a beautiful spot where he could have smashed JorDan in so many ways. But in the end, JorDan just so mentally stable, refused to die, and in the end, even won.
Yeah, and I really do have to credit JorDan's resilience and late game macro decision making throughout this series. I think that all of his, other questionable aspects of his gameplay, which have sort of prevented him from becoming, back to the tippy top where he used to be. I really do think that in this late game here, like this just proved that this is the JorDan that we all used to know and love. And once he gets into these sorts of positions, he's just solid as a rock.
Yeah. Did maybe Fire in the hideout game unlearn the champion counter trash?
Well, he did go for champions.
Yeah, but not in this one. Because he kind of had the bad experience on the hideout game and didn't really know why all the champions died against trash.
That's an interesting thought.
Because champions don't need the +4 attack necessarily.
No,
and they would have been a good option here as well.
Yeah, no, I hadn't thought about that, but I totally agree. Because Byzantines, they do get the last armor upgrade. What do you know? It's a huge deal.
Okay, achievements. Where do I need to look?
The kill death ratio that was actually in favor of Fire. Oh man, but obviously JorDan, way more resources collected, and I wonder how many resources were lost just to the inefficiencies of Fire being so late with his eco upgrades.
Oh yeah, that's so bad. Heavy plow fell very late, handcart very late, because in villagers he wasn't that far behind.
Yeah, certainly not. And as we keep on saying, it was kind of Fire's game to lose, and he lost it. JorDan did have the relics, but still Fire had more gold income. So it wasn't even then at the point when the relics mattered a huge deal.
Oh, man. That must feel so bad.
Yeah.
For Fire.
Third qualifier in a row, Nilly, that he has lost in the final round.
Indeed. Let's see if T90 invites him as well.
Oh boy. See who's gonna have their visa denied to go on the internet. Well, probably most of the EU people at this point.
Oh. Feels bad, man.
Feels bad.
Okay.
But that was a lot of fun, Nilly.
A lot of fun, my man. See
Yeah.
you around. Have a great day.
Yeah, man. You too. See ya.
See ya. Okay, I'll see if I...
Practicing. All right, so a lot of you guys would like me to speak to JorDan. JorDan is actually gone now.
Okay, so JorDan is already gone. I wanted more info. What a great timing. And yeah, so no JorDan interview on all channels apparently. And Fields John, man. He's gone. I will take a quick look at... Okay. JorDan moving forward. Tomorrow we have Jogao against Lan, the top match there. At I believe 21 GMT, so pretty late for Europeans, but yours truly will sit through it regardless. I can answer some questions if you have any. If not, I think I will just jump and play some 1v1s myself now. Miguel, Lan, and Jogao are online. Let's take a look. What are they doing? Hosting game 98. Maybe I can ask Tato for some. If he wants to play. Where can we see the list of qualified people? AOE Zone is your place to go. And escape from 1 to Viper. How much doubt is on? Slam. What could I eat tonight? Your name is vegan mayonnaise, so I say you go for a good navratan curry with some garlic naan. Okay, Dogao, Lan, and Miguel hosting 1800 team game. Without me. Feels Nelly, man. Creative? Is it creative? Are you vegetarian or vegan? Vegan at home, vegetarian when eating out. Well, actually, well, people, I have some unvegan stuff still from NAC. Yeah, the rest should be vegan. Everything I bought. When will be King of the Hippo 8 or like the next tournament where like not 2K players can play in? There is aspiring experts just started yesterday. King of the Hippo 8 will be probably not for you because it will be the 2v2v2 edition. What about your chocolate protein bar? That actually should have been vegan. At least I had some vegan ones. Oh yeah, that might be non-vegan. It's even in Arabic. Yeah, that's probably not vegan. You're right. But half of them were vegan because I bought them at a hipster shop. John will come for an interview? Uh-oh. Then let's hear again.
It sounds like a joke.
Okay, he's not here yet. I'll wait for the spam of John emotes. Okay, Jordan. Tato couldn't play with me against Heresy. Not sure how many games we will get. I will just join them. Maybe I'll play with Heresy. Give them some lovers emote.
Super excited. Believe me, like when I signed up, I was like, okay, I have to play this.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I have to play the qualifiers, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it was a complicated bracket. Well, I think
Yeah.
round one was a bit easy for you. No offense to John Slow, but there's some strong players.
Exactly. So against Jon Snow, 3 games, 3 tower rushes. So that's my dream. But okay, it was fairly easy. And then against Miguel, that was super close. Really, could have gone either way. And also against Fire, I mean, so tough because I think he was mentally tilted after game 2.
Yes,
And
I could see it as well.
exactly. So in the last game, he was able to perform, I would say, a bit better than he did game 3 and 4.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, it was so freaking close. So yeah, very close one.
Okay, well, I'm going to walk through some of the games and ask some questions. Before we get... Normally it'd start with game 1, but I do want to ask you about the final game. Do you think you would have died if Fire went Seadram before you?
Of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No question about that.
Yeah,
This, yeah.
I was basically screaming it from my casting booth, like, go Seadram! And he didn't do it, man, and you got there and you held on, so...
It was a very tough game because, I was under so much pressure, and I felt like his economy is better, his setup was better, so it was very tough for me. But yeah, him not going for the siege ramps was the saving grace for me.
Yeah.
Because I added them. I just had to get rid of the bombard cannons, right?
Yes.
It took me a lot of time to get rid of those, but eventually I was able to do it, and then from there it was just the tipping point.
Okay, well, now that we've talked a bit about the last game, let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
So
Can we go to game 2?
we could talk about that as long as you want, man.
Awesome. Game 1, let's forget about it.
Well, game 1 you did lose. I feel like for me, your map did not suit your civ at all. It was very open. What are your thoughts on that?
Definitely. It was very stupid from my side to not restart the game.
Yeah.
Because, as you said, Celts usually want to have a bit more closed map, especially against Mongols, and it was just so extremely open. But he played it super well. I mean, I was pretty late on archer ranges,
Yeah.
but he just executed it, I would say, perfectly. So I was under so much pressure, and I was, sure, okay, early on I would be GG.
Yeah. Do you think you would have called a restart if that was a game 4 map, but because it was game 1, you didn't want to call it?
Exactly. I guess I would have done so, yes. I just didn't want to use a restart, even though there are 2 restarts for best of 7,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
it was
didn't
kind
know
of
that.
stupid by me. But
Then it's really
yeah,
bad.
that's how it is.
Okay. I think that you and your teammates share that mentality. Like, try and avoid calling restarts at all cost.
Only
I think
Viper.
it's a smart
Yeah.
move, because the last thing you want to do is call restarts early and then get screwed over later on.
Exactly. And in general, I hate restarts because you're in the game focusing, and then oh no, I gotta go back. It just kind of pisses me off. So I'll try to play whenever it's possible.
Okay. Well, game
Yeah.
2 was that Rooster? Game 2 would have been his home map. So,
Oh
wait, no, your home map. It was
no.
Oh, it was that game. It was the game.
Yes,
Okay.
the lovely one.
Oh my god, dude. Well, first off, there were a few things in that one, man. I felt like your scouting on the stone walls was a bit late, and the archers didn't do much. What were you thinking when you ran into that roadblock?
When I was really struggling to get my second boar, I realized he stole it
Yeah.
in Castle Age. So I was kind of fucked up,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Yeah.
And also after such a bad performance in game 1, I was mentally, honestly, trying to stabilize. I
Yeah.
knew that I had the Civ advantage, and I need to win that game, right? But I was in a very bad position, and then my archers moving against the storm. I was like, oh no, that's not good at all.
Yeah. Well, you had the area of the boar scouted, but you must not have noticed it. I can relate, because sometimes you remember the general area where the boar should be, and then but you don't remember exactly where it was, and so you go out there expecting it to be there, and then it was too late.
Exactly. I didn't even realize that I have scouted it. That
Yeah.
bad I was focused, right? So yeah, I mean, it wasn't too well performed there by me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I knew that he always had the huge advantage, right? That he was able to boom really calmly because I kind of had to prepare also for a boom, but then I didn't really know what exactly he was going for, if he's going for a push or for boom, and so I had to cut some corners.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I reached Imperial Age, I was like, okay, this is going to be super bad for me.
At what point did you think you were dead? Because I think the game was, it was maybe 1 hour 20 minutes, and you would have been imp at like maybe 45 or 50. Did you think you were dead in imp?
Honestly, when he was pushing me and when he got the hill in my 2 castles, I was like, okay, there's no way for me to get back into this game.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
whatever, let's try. Yeah, and then somehow, I don't know how, I managed to come back.
Well,
I don't know what happened. I think I got in, raided a bit, and that kind of, he struggled with that.
he struggled pushing you in that game.
Yeah.
He had
Yeah.
5, I don't know if you remember, there were 5 trebs just standing there. You killed them. And then there were 4
Yeah.
bombard cannons, and he didn't have any protection. And then I think after losing that, he never really had siege against you there. All he had, I think he just needed to keep his camels and hand cannons and siege together, kill your buildings, and just slowly push you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he should have done, but I don't know. Maybe he was not 100% focused. I'm not sure. But usually he would have done that. So
Yeah.
I don't know what was up. But there is no way I should come back in that game. Also, he had relics, right? So
Yeah, the relics were definitely not favorable generation-wise for you. The plan, by the way, for anyone who has any questions about this, is to, I mean, all the maps before the qualifiers looked solid. We did have to adjust Rooster, but there's a few things we'll probably look at before the main event games start, just to make sure. But dude, JorDan, he had 2 relics in the back corner of his base, and he didn't know that, right? He didn't have them scouted, and you sent in 1 light cav, and he was chasing you with a hussar, and then you showed him where the relics were. Oh.
Yes, it was 1 hour into the game already, right?
Yeah.
And then I went there with my scout. I was like, why is there a relic? Why is there a relic, right? But I see so many players doing that mistake, right? They are not 100% exploring.
Yeah.
And that's what I always do. So, yeah. But anyway, I mean, he should not have lost that game.
Mm-hmm.
And no, I don't know what happened there for him, but okay.
Well, game 3 was then his home map, so Rooster. Rooster was a bit weird for Fire, so he had called a restart because his deer were in an awkward spot. I know you didn't see that.
Yeah.
But, and honestly, he had already pushed one. It wouldn't have been ideal, but I think he could have pushed a few more if he wanted to. And then you know exactly what happens on the new map. What did you think when you saw his resources there?
I was laughing so hard. I mean, like, in the deep, right? I was like, okay, you have to keep your composure and focus and bring that one home. But I knew just by the map generation, I had a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if he knew that he had 2 restarts. So
He
you know,
yeah, I mean, he should have known that, right? I was thinking he might
Exactly.
call it there, but then again, it was game 3,
Exactly.
so
I scouted. I saw berries. I was like, why is he taking the berries in Dark Age? I'm like, okay. And he also rode 1-1, right? So I felt like, okay, his start is kind of off.
yeah.
Which gave me confidence as well. So the 1-1 kind of helped me, to be honest.
Yeah, when he typed 11, if you didn't know then that he was a bit frustrated, or if you didn't know before, sorry, you knew immediately after he typed that because you had stolen some sheep and you both lost a villager in Dark Age, so it was sloppy all around.
Did you see that freaking woman? I think it was. It was so stupid.
No, I didn't see her.
That pathing. I honestly wanted to slap her. Then I was like, okay, she's gonna die.
She's
anyway.
already dead. Yeah, you can't slap her.
Yeah. So stupid, but okay.
It happens, right? You did have a save
It
on
happens.
the cross game. You forgot about your villager. Maybe that was a bit of revenge there.
That's super strange because I was certain that I clicked the villager home.
Yeah.
And then I was like, where's the freaking villager? Oh, 10 HP left. Oh. Not good.
Oh, gonna love
Well,
Jordan.
it was a pretty convincing win for you, man. There were some good games. Definitely, I think game 2 and the final game were the best games. A good fight backs from you. I think that
Thank you.
it's just a sign that you're able. If there's even a small way back, you were able to find it, and players are gonna have to finish you off because Fire was unable to do that in those matches.
He struggled, yeah.
I'm gonna have a few questions come in from the chat. A lot of people want me to tell you that there was a hole on the left side of Fire's base the whole time in the last game.
I know,
So
Tati
what?
told me about that. I'm like, come on. Double Stoma, I was like, 100% he has no gap.
Yeah.
And then, that kind of hurts, but
It-
yeah, that's how it happens.
You said you normally scout all the areas in the map, man. Come on.
I'm good at talking, but not at playing sometimes.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
God.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm very happy that you'll be in the player list, but I was thinking before the qualifier, okay, is it possible to bring in certain players to cast? And the only players that I could bring in to cast for the main event would be people who did not make it. So, on one hand, it would have been extremely exciting for you to play in the event for me. But if you would have lost today, I would have definitely asked you to co-cast for the first day. So you do get to play now, and you do get to fight to I think, I don't know, like maybe get your reputation back a little bit? Are you thinking you can thrive in this type of a setting?
See, because there's so many great players now.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna be so tough. It's really dependent on who I play against. But in general, yeah, I think I have a shot to make at least count, but it's gonna be super tough.
It depends, yeah.
That's for sure.
I think, Jordan,
I
I think an edge, sorry to interrupt you. I think an edge that you'll have over some of the players is that you've had a lot of experience on the maps.
Exactly.
So you have an idea of what will work for you, what civs will work, what civs won't work, the styles that will or won't work, and a lot of the top 14 who are already in
Worked really well for Doubt and Fire during NSC.
tournament situations. So I think that would give you a certain edge going into the main event.
I think that is my advantage there, that I have a bit more experience there. Yeah, but skill-wise, I definitely have to step it up. That's just the way it is. That's a fact.
Yeah, well, I'll go to the Twitch chat here, see if there's any other questions for you, and then I'll let you go celebrate.
I will celebrate with food.
I assume you got home from work and started to play immediately, so.
Yeah, I worked at home today, but
Okay.
it was, I worked until 4 and then the game started right away. So, yeah, bit tough schedule, but that's how it is.
All right, so guys, if you have any questions, you can post them. If I see any good ones, I'll read them out to JorDan. JorDan, I know you're a huge fan of Force Nothing. After this, Tato is going to try and set a Force Nothing world record.
Like what?
Yeah, I'm sure you're really excited to watch that, aren't you?
I already have my tickets booked.
I remember the other day I was in the game room with you, Doubt, and Tato, and you're like, "I'm not playing Force Nothing."
No. I was watching a bit. I was like, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone has a different taste. But by the way, what is Tati trying to do then?
Well, he's apparently already started. He's trying to see if he can chop the whole map in under 1 hour with 256 tech. So that's his. I think someone did it and they got 1 hour 3. So believe me, if Tato's already like 10 minutes into the game, I'll be able to catch up afterwards. It's no problem.
Okay, man, Tati is crazy guy.
Well, so there's some good questions. I am just gonna leave you with this, JorDan. What's gonna be different about Hidden Cup 2 for you? I mean, you've played a lot of different tournaments, but you won't know who you're going to play the following round. You won't know who you're playing against during the current rounds. What changes for an expert player with the Hidden Cup 2 settings?
This depends so much on the person, because some people are mentally weak when they face stronger opponents, like for example Viper.
Okay.
Many players won't be able to perform as they could against Viper.
Yeah.
For example, Fire.
Players like me, I don't care. Like there to face against, I will play my very best all the time. And
Yeah.
the only thing which will change is, if you know certain styles by the players, then you will adapt accordingly.
Yeah.
Right. There are certain players who are going for the lane. Then there are certain players who will definitely not go for the lane.
Okay.
Right? So it depends, but yeah, that's what makes this tournament so extremely exciting, right? Because you have no idea who you're playing against.
Yeah, I think there will be a lot of trolls as well. I think players will.
Yeah.
I think we had in Hidden Cup 1, players were speaking in Chinese. In Hidden Cup 1, players were typing GG in all caps. Basically, everyone tried to act like they were Fat Dragon.
But everyone who types in Chinese can never be a Chinese player.
Yeah, I always, already will come up with something as well. But the very best thing is, for Doubt, the probability is there that he faces me in round 1. he will feel the pressure like in NAC2, man. He will feel the pressure.
Doubt said something to me the other day. He messaged me and said, "Screw you" for the promo video, because I had a Doubt castle on my promo video. Let me see. I'll tell you what he said to me. I think he said, I don't know if I can find it right now, but I think he said, "Please ask Robo to rig the bracket so I beat JorDan in round 1." I'm pretty sure that's what Doubt said. So the chances that happens kind of slim, because we have 16 players and it's random. But if it does happen, man, the drama is going to be real.
And that's going to be so hilarious, really. But okay, yeah.
All right.
Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good.
All right, man. Well, again, congratulations. Before you go, who do you think will win tomorrow between Dogao and Lan?
Dogao.
Think Dogao?
I haven't played him for a long time, but Dogao seems to be extremely solid.
Yeah.
and I just think he's one step ahead
Yep.
from Lan. Especially he has so much more experience, right? And experience counts or matters a lot in tournaments.
All right. Sweet stuff, man. Well, thank you again and congratulations. Enjoy your food or beer, whatever it is, and have a great day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, you too, and thanks for hosting this event, man. It's awesome.
You're welcome, man. All right. See ya.
Bye.
Okay, time for some of your questions if you have any. I read some stuff that I didn't agree on too much. Don't really know. Yeah. German beer stereotype, yeah. Thoughts on the interview? Fun. Could have done a bit more promotion for Hidden Cup though. And said how unique it is. Best of 7, 7-1. Germany against Brazil, my friend. It was 4-1. It's 90 always assuming Germans eat beer. Jordan isn't actually such a beer fan, honestly. What question would you have asked? Probably who he would have loved to have in the first round. What name he would love to get. If he thinks he has an advantage that it's unknown that it's him. Because he obviously is one of the weaker players. And some people might go in more confident because they knew they were against JorDan. Beer is vegan, right, so it suits you well. Actually, most beers aren't vegan because the etiquettes are with glue that isn't vegan. So hardcore vegans actually don't drink most of the beer. Are you still in contact with Killer B? Yeah. Tell me miss him. He knows that he's still missed. The names are given from a name pool, yeah. How much do you think this game was JorDan playing good and how much Fire kind of throwing? Both of it, right? I don't agree with the JorDan made a strong performance. Top 10 players clearly would have won against JorDan today. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's from gelatin as well. So the remainings of the bones, I believe. Are vegan because of ethics or like the taste of meat? I love the taste of meat, but it's ethics, yeah. Nearly, do you know why Woobly is sometimes lagging when you're using two monitors? Do you have a tip to fix that? Yes, rejoin the game. That's what you see Tado and Doubt do. That they're going out of the game just shortly before launching and then going back into it. I think it's only with Windows 10 because I never had it with Windows 7. Tomorrow we will have Dogao against Lan. As said before, we don't need to play any more matches and we won't see JorDan against the winner of the match at any time. JorDan is qualified directly. Two people advance. Hi, I was not here to watch the series. Has JorDan watched because he was very good and JorDan is bad? Fire underperformed or both? Fire underperformed, did throw some games, and JorDan played solid against Fire. Like, in both were on a kind of even level. There was some unfortunate things happening for Fire as well. Like, the rooster thing was really bad for him. Yeah, nothing more we can say there. Top 4 German players. JorDan, me, Stefan, Chaos. Do you think the Rooster map should have been an F1Re? I say no. But it's a close one. But NSC 2 Fire lost quite easily, right? He lost against everyone except JorDan, yeah. Won quite easily? Yeah, but that wasn't a pressure scenario. Okay, so apparently we're playing 2v2 now. With Miguel, Dogao, and Lan. NSC Pseudo is like number 20 or 25. Donny even lower, obviously. Okay, let's add the red one here. We have Dogao versus Lan. Wednesday 21 GMT, I believe that is. But huh? Why are we going back? I don't know. Cast the Forest Nothing game with Teddle would be super much fun to watch. Not for me. How much psychology in terms of how do you feel that day matters in competitive AoE2? Well, there are sports where it's more important, there are sports where it's less important. I think it's not hyper important. But I know that I lost games because I wasn't mentally set. Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. Falcon Muesli, 14-month, cheers. I missed some A's in LAN. I thought it was 5. I went for 5. Oh, actually I have all the stuff still here. Gem Monday can be gone as well. Oh, one flag. Bop. We have organized a German Cup. At the moment makes 0 sense. So, yeah, I wouldn't really know why. One JorDan of fire. Wow, yeah, that's the worst time you could ever have. You're like less than 2 seconds late. JorDan for 1. Que pasa? He wants to go team random apparently.
Yes.
Professional ECL team. Far away from that. There are Chinese cups. Oh god. One day when I won't be a caster, I would love to not always do that. Or maybe just have the hotkey for scroll speed. Or just be something in between. Don't have to switch always. God, we are playing with students against Franks and Japanese. Oh boy, this will be ugly. So we are going for the crossbows, I assume.
Bereite.
Holzer. Buvere.
Holzer. Hey, ja.
Not a great map. Okayish gold here that we can maybe work with in the back.
Heise. Holzer. Holzer.
Hey, ja. Jäger. Bereite. Tuacha. Ja.
He wants to go tower push.
Ja.
Then I scout. Oh god. Good that we are.
Ja.
Yeah.
Jäger.
That's why you normally use TeamSpeak, guys. That you don't have 10 seconds like those.
Buvere.
Hey, Jäger. Holzer. Jäger.
Jägere.
Jäger.
Hey, Holzer. Das war
Jäger.
Yes. Ja. Jägere.
Das war.
Don't wait about me. Or what is that?
Jäger.
Don't worry.
Hey, ja.
Was bonus hype? Well, he jumped into it.
Heise. Holzer.
So actually, it wasn't really good that I got it out there.
Wäre. Ja. Heiße. Tuacha. Ja. Tuacha. Ja. Das war. Wäre. Tuacha.
Sucher.
Tuacha.
Sucher.
Tuacha.
Ja.
Ja. Tuacha.
Sucher. Jägere.
Heiße. Bereite. Tuacha.
Hey, ja. Ja. Sucher. Bereite. Sucher.
Jäger.
Ja.
Hey, ja. Wäre. Hauwa.
No.
I will have lots of troubles here, I believe.
Tuacha. Ja. Tuacha.
Das ist soll. Buvere.
Like lots of troubles.
Hey, ja. Heiße. Wäre. Tuacha. Ja. Hey, ja.
Rete. Buvere.
Jäger.
Bu wäre.
Jäger.
Ja. Suche. Jägere. Ja.
How are we playing this?
Bu wäre.
Am I getting upgrade? Yeah, okay.
Hey,
Ja.
ja.
Ja. Ouvert. Heiße.
Maybe it goes in. No, not really.
Bu wäre.
Oh no.
Ja.
Oh!
Es war. Bu wäre. Das ist
Gott.
toll. Bu wäre. Bu wäre. Ja. Das ist toll. Bu wäre. Ja. Bu wäre. Ja. Bu wäre. Ja.
Ouvert.
Hey, ja.
Ouvert. Das war.
Oh god, this is so bad.
Ouvert.
I have no idea what I can do here.
Over.
He's repairing. Scouts here. Did I write that? Oh god.
Heiße. Ouvert.
Ja, Räte. Bu wäre. Das war. Bu wäre. Das ist toll. Bu wäre. Das war. Bu wäre.
I told him. Oh no.
Over. Heiße. Ouvert. Heiße. Das ich soll. Ouvert.
Räte. Bu wäre.
Woche. Ouvert. Geboren. Ja.
Oh, I still don't have pledging, right?
Das war. Räte.
So let's get that.
Ouvert. Heiße. Ja. Ouvert.
Hey, ja. Bu wäre.
Ouvert. Ouvert. Ja. Ouvert. Ouvert.
Hey, ja. Bu wäre.
Heiße. Ouvert. Heiße.
Das ist Holzer.
Hey.
No, actually not.
Das war. Bu wäre. Hey, ja. Bu wäre. Buvere.
Ja,
Heise. Holzer. Buvere.
Oh no, I could stone wall behind this. That would be lovely as well.
Ouvert. Hey, ja. Ouvert. Ouvert. Ouvert.
Easy. How is that one not getting home? Ah, it's just GG. It's over. Oh boy. Yeah, that game was over after I lost Scout plus the villager there. I think we shouldn't really play with chatting. Simply jumping into it again. Couldn't really perform there in this game. I think it's also not good practice to not play with TeamSpeak. But hey, who am I? Awesome. In Portuguese, well, then we should probably do a lot of pressure in Castle Age. Oh, he's coming TeamSpeak, for example. At least that's what I'm hoping. Heyo!
Oh, my mic was muted.
Yeah, now you're here.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Nice.
Nice, yeah. Sounds fine.
Yes.
Oh man, last game without Discord just makes zero sense.
Yeah.
I
feel
tried
ya.
to tell him a strategy, and in that moment I lost my scout and a boar, villager at the boar, in like within 8 seconds or less.
Yeah, I was like, when you lost your scout, I know it was over.
Yeah, well, you didn't even know about the villager loss at that point. So like emotionally, I was at fire level.
Yeah, oh boy. That Hooster game for sure tilted him so badly.
Yeah.
If I'm versus the engines, I think I'm going to men at arms. Otherwise, I just make just archers.
Okay.
I think I can wall myself here, like in an egg, you know?
In an egg.
Yeah.
Yeah, yourself. Yeah, I understand. Hey, not losing my scout. At least for
Well
now.
played.
I'll take the small wins. Saw it coming in my eye.
I'm doing just archers. I can't find where he is.
Okay, mine is here.
Oh yeah, I am versus engines.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
Maro. Chasseur. Maro. 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 Kay. Bûcheron. Bûcheron. Libet. Chasseur. Maro.
Both of his golds are front in a hill, so we can double after.
Okay.
Boé. Pré. Bûcheron. Bâtisseur.
Yeah, mine is going. I think archers. He didn't push any deer, although they're super close. But only 2 on gold. Yeah, late barracks. Mine goes pure archer.
Bûcheron.
Okay.
Boé. Maro. Libet. Bâtisseur. Kay. Libet. Bâtisseur. Pré. Libet. Bâtisseur. Kay. Pré. Bâtisseur. Chasseur. Pré. Bûcheron. Bâtisseur.
Honestly, I think I could even instantly come to you if you wanted.
Pré.
His wood is there. It's really far from town center, so you can go straight there. It's nice.
Bâtisseur.
Let's see what I can do.
Bâtisseur. Boé. Bâtisseur. 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 Maro. Bâtisseur. Féfé. Bâtisseur.
Okay, I'm egg walled as well.
Okay, nice.
Bâtisseur.
His wood is there. It's really far from town center. You should be able to, and he's not making any spears, so.
Okay, should
I
be
am
on it now.
almost valid.
Okay, I'm on it. Okay, got 3 villagers.
Okay, nice.
Féfé. Férax. Oil. Bâtisseur. Bâtisseur. Boé. Bâtisseur.
Okay, is at he at home?
Yeah, I got all of his scouts as well.
Boé. Oil. Bâtisseur. 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 Féfé. Bâtisseur. Boé. Féfé. Libet. Bâtisseur.
Okay, land could come to you.
Yeah, he's here. He's here. I'm
Okay.
fine.
You're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Miguel is still at his base.
Oh, my BS is 99%.
I could come.
He has 7 archers there. I will try to get even without flashing. Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Okay. Oil. Oil. Pastiso. Pastiso. Pastiso.
I kill it all.
Okay. Sweet. I'm killing
Should we attack him now?
I'm on Miguel here, and just finish Miguel. He has a tower here to defend, but his wood line should be open, right?
Okay.
He has no defense upgrades. Has 1 spearman. I'm here.
Yeah.
I think we should do a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm going there.
Okay, I'm getting Kato. I'm up in 10 seconds as well. Where are you?
I'm here. Getting there.
Oh, I'm exactly there. That's what's so tricky that you can be there.
Lone Archers is here. He's going to you.
I'm house walled even, so
Okay. Yeah, no
will
problem.
be tricky for him.
Let's go just his tower then.
Okay, I'm getting defense
Come,
upgrades.
come. Oh yeah, we can't. Let's just go inside.
Okay,
Maybe, maybe not.
I'm running through. He's going to the top again.
Yeah. You can live with your scouts just by his farms being idle there. It's already nice. You can use your scouts, by the way.
Yeah, okay. Just need to be sure that I'm...
Maybe just keep attacking his tower there.
Okay, I'm running around. Okay, archers are coming
There's
to you
another
from
wood
here.
there. Yeah, I will need to get back then because I don't have defense at home.
Well, I can do knights pretty soon as well. Yeah, just run through here, through the CC, and you will be fine. I'm debating a bit, and then just go for... That's all his army. Maybe fight. Oh, I screwed up. Okay, go here. Kill the scouts, low HP. Okay, attack, attack. Lan is coming there.
I'm up.
Just focus wills. Army is coming.
Oh, there's a lot of archers.
Yeah, not much we can do.
I'm just leaving his base now. Len has like twice army than I have.
Yeah, I have +2 knights. Yeah, I think we just need to group up, take one big fight.
Yeah. He's here. Can you come?
Yeah, I'm coming. Are you up?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
he's pulling my archers. Nice. Careful, his archers are here.
I'm still raiding Miguel at home. And I'm sending a lot.
Miguel is dead. Just
Yeah,
forget
yeah.
about him.
He went onto camels. Oh no.
Careful. I'm doing ballistics. Ah, he's there.
Yep. Okay, towers below HP. Okay, let's move
Just
in.
go, just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
GG.
Well played.
Yeah, well, you gave me the spot to kill, right? And then it was Frank's power.
Who?
Sid Machinery, cheers. Lan went for triple archery range. Still crush that. But yeah, that's obviously if green doesn't have anything there. But TeamSpeak makes such a difference, it's ridiculous. Solid eco advantage, had 3 TCs running. Felt Nellyman. Good eco balance this game. Well, I used the market twice, right? That helped. And we didn't need to micro that much. So Miguel lost twice now. The machinery, thanks again. Let me see. Pop. Ah, I'm hungry. Okay, asking JorDan in doubt. Okay, I'm both writing that we ask. No, Dogao plus Miguel. See, Dogao always wins and Miguel always loses. Let me check. I think would be 3. Join and we see. Ups, down. Sogar giving some trash talk here even. You can choose if you play with or against me. One win would come with pride. No, I think I got him. Damn, I'm hungry. Guys, someone order me pizza, please. Who do you think will win Aspiring Expert? If Nearly wins against Cool, he can win the whole thing. Dracont! Giving me some hope. Let me see how many people did vote for me to win. 12 people! That's so weird. If you get Goku in here, Doubt kinda has to follow. Guys, don't vote for me. Pressure would be too high. Playing my games on Friday. Maybe I can squeeze in some practice. Probably ask Timotheus. Is Loiser is a well-known player? Never heard the name. Yeah, he was top 10 in the world for sure. WSVG times. So when Tyrants were really big, so Jordan's prime, Loiser was out there as well. He played in WSVG, for example, as I said, at the Maldives tournament. And somewhat famous for making it into the finals of Massive Arena 3 or something. KOT 6th place? Okay. Yeah, I didn't follow that one. I didn't follow any KOT because I had my first girlfriend there. So I want to see Nilly versus 2 versus 4 noobs. Has it been done before? Yeah, on my YouTube. One before. Is that even possible? In German. And I obviously played at Rocket Beans against 3. Okay, now we got Larry and Doubt. High class team game now. Danger. I saw those actually. Okay. Kind of weird that you asked then. Oh, Dowd Hera Leary. Sick. Who just left? Oh, no one. Huh? Oh no, yeah. Leary just out himself. Loisa also was a star player of naps in old team game tournaments. That's true. Pretty good at times. Oh. Hat auch eine Antwort trotzdem gegen die Armbrustschützen. Da war noch ganz schön dem. Nein, Philipp, nein! 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 Sound better than our Lord? No. Link, please. It's not uploaded yet. Will be uploaded the next upcoming days. Just a 23-second video. Nearly wasn't convinced. Yeah, I was. Not convinced. True. Oh. Oh, by the way, I had a funny idea for NSC 3. Let's assume it happens. Okay. Stopped reading. I'm hungry. What do I eat? I have nothing like quickie to eat. For the fun, I let them play Rocket League 1v1. You only need 2 game and 2 controllers. Just make sure one of them is actually good at the game. Yeah, 0 chances. You can propose that to Escape AoE. Oh, Leary wants to play. That's going to be the rough lineup. Hera, MBL, Dowd, Leary. Yeah, Fun Day wasn't well received. People had fun, but viewer numbers were really bad. Took some break in the tournament. Wasn't happy with Fun Day. Get revenge for MBL for the time he disrespected you. Why would I need revenge? It's like if a small kid puts his tongue out. Do you punch him down? Or do you just laugh about him? Who wins, Fire or JorDan?